Yes, people, welcome to another edition of From a Third Eye View on Pi Radio, hosted by myself, Flawless Mr. Take Note, and I'm also joined by one of my co-hosts, Mr. I've seen more in a night than you've seen in your life, Stro. Stro, what you saying? You good?
Say that again.
I said
I've seen more in a night. That's my line.
Yeah. Go on, talk on it then. Go on, talk on it.
Listen, I want royalties, man. That's all I'm saying, innit?
You want your royalties? Okay,
I want
okay.
my royalties, man.
Okay,
what
okay.
Saying?
Fair enough. Yo, good mood, you know what I'm saying? Like, we out here, obviously international break.
Excellent mood.
Excellent mood. Like, things are just coming together. I just want to say, first and foremost, salute to everybody who supports From a Third Eye View, the show, who supports Pi Radio, who also supports myself, supports Stro and JV. Like, we really appreciate it. Like, we see the same supporters and the same names popping up, supporting everywhere. It doesn't matter if we're on here on From a Third Eye View, if it's Sarcasm City, if it's the Football Terrorists, if it's United Central, if it's Mr. Aaron United, if it's Rosette, you know what I'm saying? If it's Mad Red United, like, you lot appreciate, and big up to the whole circle also. Obviously, we're trying to keep our spirits up because it's international break and it sucks. Let's keep it real. International break sucks. Like, it really does. It's not good. But, all right, Stro, where do you want to start?
Suppose we've got to talk with the hot topic in a minute.
He's forever a hot topic. Is there a topic that's more hot than this guy?
Nah. And
this guy is always a story.
This is what winds me up.
Go on.
Just clickbait. Like, obviously, we've seen the news break. Paul Pogba, not happy with the current situation at United, etc., etc. And then you're just seeing these, how can I put it in the best possible way?
Go on.
These certain type of United fans jump straight on it. Oh, get him out of the club.
Yep.
Oh, it's a disgrace. How dare he disrespect Manchester United? It's like, listen, I knew straight away as soon as I seen that. Yeah. It was taken out of context.
Okay. Right, go on, elaborate on that.
You can tell because they only clipped up that bit.
So it's not the full
thing. So you're telling me that that's all the interview was?
Yeah.
Like that? Like, I've worked in media journalism. I've seen certain things. Like, I know for a fact there's a full interview that's gone on before that. And I know straight away what he would have been getting at. Who's happy to sit on the bench? No one. That's true. We are gonna pull up his comments. Go on, keep going now. So it's like, who's happy to be sat on the bench? I've got lads who play for my Saturday team who aren't happy to be on the bench. They ain't professional footballers. That ain't their living. Mm-hmm. That couldn't affect them going to the Euros or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? That's a great point. So it's like, obviously he's not going to be happy. Obviously he's in a situation he's never been in before. When have you ever seen Paul Pogba on the bench? Never. I've never seen it apart from when he was coming through United in the first time. Yeah, that's true. He's been a first teamer ever since he started being a first teamer. So this is the first time he's had extended time on the bench. I get what you're saying. Exactly. Yeah. So obviously he's going to react. To me, he's not even reacting in a negative way. When he's come on, he's made an impact. If anything, he's just talking on it. He's just being honest. Yes. You want that from your players. I don't want to hear nonsense that, oh, I'm happy. No, you're not happy. I want to hear you saying that you've never been in this situation. I want to hear you saying you're going to fight for everything. I want to hear you saying I'm going to get my place back. I want them kind of noises because that means that you care. None of this, get him out of the club. He's being honest. Yeah, absolute nonsense. That's what it is. Absolute nonsense. Like, and I was critical of him not when he first came out, but when he stated last time he was on international duty. And what was the comment he made about, oh, it's a dream to play for Real Madrid, even though there was more to it. I was critical of that because I'm like, that's not what to say at this moment in time. United had just been battered 6-1 by Spurs. We hadn't signed Jadon Sancho. The fan base was an absolute mess because the transfer window was bad. And then you turn around and say, oh, it's a dream to play for Real Madrid. So that messed it up. You get what I'm saying? Go on, Stro. I just feel like he's been Manchester United, and what I mean is commercially, he's been managed wrong. So I always come back to this one moment, right? Liverpool played Manchester United, at Old Trafford. And it was when the Pogba emojis were first coming out and you're seeing the banners all the way around the pitch of Pogba doing the dab and stuff like that. Lo and behold, he goes and gives the penalty away. I remember he's talking about that, yes. Yeah. So he goes up for a challenge with Lovren, which was a mismatch from a corner anyway. And then we end up drawing the game 1-0. But he was open to criticism because of all the stuff that's going on in and around it. The fact that, the Pogba emoji's out. The fact that it's all over the billboards, all the way around the stadium. They made a campaign before the game, and you don't do that when it's Liverpool, Manchester United, because you don't know which way that game's going to go. Fair point. You're leaving him open for criticism. Yes. That's not him. Yeah. You're blaming the club above. You talking about the people above in Yeah.
covering the media.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the commercial side of the club, we should say.
The commercial
yes.
side completely left him hung to dry.
Yeah.
And it was a disgrace to see. Because straight away, then everyone starts making jokes, memes. Oh, he was dabbing on the billboards. No, he's actually dabbing on the pitch.
Yes.
Or, look, and then obviously you see pundits then get involved. It's like, oh, but why is this happening? It's like, it's not him. At no point would he have signed off on it.
Yeah, at no point would he have said, do this. Like, I highly doubt that was Pogba's idea.
No, exactly. This is what I mean. So then there's that situation, right? And it's like, as someone who is in this kind of position, and Manchester United behind the scenes should be in a position where they should be able to manage and crisis control a lot better, right? Paul Pogba comes out in an interview and specifically says what you said. It's a dream to play for Real Madrid. Are you honestly telling me a club with the pool the size of Manchester United couldn't delay that by a couple of days? How's that been let through?
How's it been let through? Yes, but he should also not say that at that point. At no point is it good to say it's a dream to play. I understand it, why he's saying it. He's French.
Yeah, exactly.
Zidane is the manager of France. Zidane is one of his idols. Also, Real Madrid are a massive club, arguably the biggest in the world. So it makes sense why it would be such an appeal to him. But what he needs to do is not say that at that point. But these recent comments, I have no. But Aaron, shout out to Mr. Aaron United. He said, obviously Aaron speaks French. He said it was taken out of context.
Yeah, and you can
so
tell.
I can't wait to talk to him to see what actually got said. Yeah, go on.
No, because this is what I'm saying. Because obviously, listen, Aaron speaks French. Aaron speaks about 20 different languages. Like, let me just make that clear from the beginning. Yes. This man speaks 20 different languages, right? So, I'm not French. When I seen them comments, I knew it was taken out of context. Because I know for a fact the format of when it was thingy, they only clipped that bit. That's suspect. Because it's just driving traffic to whatever channel it was on, whatever newspaper, to generate hits. That's where I have the issue. The exact same thing with the Rashford and Greenwood situation, right? You're just driving traffic to your product in a way which is detrimental to the actual players.
Yeah.
And that's my problem with it. So as soon as I seen that, I knew he never said them comments. Or it was completely taken out of context.
Nah,
and listen, the Real Madrid one I completely get, because I remember when Coutinho came out and said it was a dream to play for Barcelona. That irritated me.
As it would. I understand that.
No, exactly. But I understand it's a dream, but there's a time and a place. You don't do it.
There's a time and a place. So we're just going to get to some of the comments. Salute to everybody who is watching live right now on the YouTube. If you're watching live on the YouTube, please make sure you hit the like button on the video. Make sure you share this across all your socials, and also subscribe to the Pi Radio YouTube and hit the notification bell also. So Omar Mali says, yes, lad, salute to you. Lauren Ward says, what's up? Salute to you, Lauren. Nathan, forever opinionated. Paul Pogba hasn't even been better than Cleverley or Anderson in the Prem. Man is the extremely poor man's Frimpong. I completely disagree with that. There's at no point where Cleverley or Anderson in any season are top goal scorer and highest assister at the same time. And this is Lauren saying this. She says, Pogba is quality, man. He just ain't partnered up with someone decent. Pogba and Kante have played 28 games together and never lost as a pairing. Georgiev says, big up, people. Got to be a great show. Salute to Georgiev each and every time. Nathan also says, man got outclassed by Finland's C team in midfield and I'm supposed to rate him. He's been living off the 15-16 season and that's it. He's not played like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, obviously, after that season you're talking about there, he's been injured a lot. Even Yannick Bolasie came out and said it and stated that Paul Pogba was world class. And people were like, what do you mean? And he stated that. Stefan says, in French, Pogba said everything that was reported except the comparison between United and our national team. He was just praising his international teammates. And that's from Stefan, who's from there. Go on, Stro. I'm going to read the comments in a second.
No, but this is what I'm saying. So he was praising his teammates. Do you know what I mean? Like, but then they clip it in a certain way where it's detrimental to him. And this is the issue I have with the media. And this is you look at how certain media reacts, right? And I didn't really want to touch on the topic because it's irritated me. Obviously, we spoke up on it on Saeed's, pick up my brother Saeed always. But South America.
Yeah.
Do you remember Luis Suarez in the World Cup when he does the handball against Ghana?
Yeah.
They got knocked out soon after, right? He was treated like a god when he got off the plane in Uruguay. You can see the videos.
Makes sense.
Because the media want the team to do well.
Of course.
Whereas the English media, to me, it's almost as if it's us against the footballers. Like they've got some kind of issue. Like, I played football in high school. That should be me. No, mate, you were terrible.
Yeah. It seems to be that type of issue, but we are gonna touch on that. But yeah, I just want to touch on like Pogba's comments, what like reported what he said, and then we'll go into the whole media and how their treatment of Rashford and Greenwood and in the past Sterling has been terrible. This is a period I've never experienced in my career. The French national team is a breath of fresh air. We are very happy to come here. It's not the same as with the club. We all group together. It is magical. So, all right, let's say, obviously, we don't know what's been taken out of context. He has said how United fans, and I'm a United fan speaking this, are up in arms about that. I have no idea. And this is where agendas come, because there's nothing wrong with what he said. We're all Manchester United fans. None of us are happy. I've not met a happy Manchester United fan at this moment. Doesn't matter if you're Ollie in or you're Ollie out. Doesn't matter if you think Pogba should be sold or you think he's world class. It doesn't matter about those things. Nobody is happy. So it's like, why do you expect Pogba to be happy when nobody else is happy? You think even Ollie, do you think Ollie's happy right now? I'll ask you, Strong. Do you think Ollie's happy right now? Exactly. Not in the slightest is he happy. Do you think Woodward's happy right now?
No.
In terms of the foot? No. As much Chris. You think the owners are happy? No, like nobody's happy. You think the players are? You think Rashford's happy? Even though all the great stuff he's doing off the pitch, do you think he's happy with the footballing side of things? Not at all. Not. So it's like, why is it a shock that Pogba said this? And this is where issues lie and people let their agendas and their dislike of people. Because I'm a big fan of Paul Pogba. But when he said the Real Madrid thing, I called him out on it. But this, he said nothing wrong here. He said nothing wrong.
So
yeah, go on.
Do me a favour, right? Because I'm gonna touch upon it in a second. Repeat the sentence for me, because I'm gonna play devil's advocate a second.
This is a period I've never experienced in my career.
Right. So talking about him being on the bench, which is completely fair enough. Yeah.
The French national team is a breath of fresh air. We are very happy to come here. It's not the same as with the club. We all group together. It's magical.
Right. Keyword. We all group together. Yeah. Now, I can understand why some United fans might have gone a bit, and I mean this, a bit to the left, because it's like, it's almost as if to say, oh, well, I'm happier at thingy. But you understand that. Look at the state of Manchester United at the minute.
There we go.
On and off the pitch. And this is what I've never understood about Manchester United, right? Is if you want, for me, Ed Woodward just seems like he wants big commercial deals, right? And he wants to be known for getting in them big historic deals. In order to do that, you've got to have success on the pitch.
Yes.
So look at Liverpool. We had Adidas. Adidas dropped us because we weren't successful enough. At that time. We were terrible. So then we had to go to New Balance. And then we slowly built ourselves up because successfully on the pitch, we were going places and you could see the level and rise. And now look at us, the most historic kit deal in UK history. Never been done before. So what I don't understand is, from a man who seems to be commercially driven, is how you can't put two and two together and get United back into success. I don't understand it. So obviously Pogba's not going to be happy.
Facts.
Because he was sold a dream when he was coming back to Manchester United. This is what we're going to do. We're going to be recruiting these kind of players. We're going to be challenging for this, this and this. You've not won a title for 7 years, 8 years. Liverpool have been there. That can grow quickly. The years can just go. Do you know what I mean? And that's my issue with it. And imagine McTominay made that comment. Do you think this is uproar? Absolutely not.
No. If McTominay comes, it's not uproar.
If Lindelof says it, no uproar.
No.
Maguire says it, slight uproar, but not as much as this. Now,
go on, I know where you're going with this. This is brilliant. I'm glad you've done this. Go on.
Now, if a certain Mason Greenwood says this, if a certain Marcus Rashford says this, if a certain Anthony Martial says this.
Oh, if Martial says this, World War III.
There's a huge problem.
World War III if Martial says it. World War III.
Now, for example, I make a comment.
Yeah.
I love Pi Radio, but I make a comment. I'm not happy with Pi Radio in a minute, etc., etc. They're not giving me this, and this. Right? You make the comment, the exact same comment. In today's society, as we're seeing, you're going to get more flack than me.
Yes.
We said the exact same thing.
Facts.
What's the difference? Colour of the skin. And to me, that's a disgrace.
Yeah, I'm glad you said it.
Because honestly, it winds me up. And this is what I don't understand, is at the end of the day, we're all human beings. Pogba wants one thing, for Manchester United to be successful.
Yes.
Because if they're successful, he's successful.
And then he gets more winners' medals, people. Go on,
the man's a World Cup winner.
Yep.
Not just talking any World Cup winner. Did you see? Let me just repeat this. Right? Kante is a World Cup winner. Yeah? Giroud's a World Cup winner. Lloris is a World Cup winner. Bear in mind, Lloris is the captain. I didn't see him in the comments. I mean, I didn't see him in the videos giving that captain speech.
True.
It was Pogba. Because that's what it means to him.
It means a lot to him, of course. All this he don't care is nonsense.
You're honestly telling me, and everyone says that Pogba's got a big ego. All right, cool. But let's just go down that that path for a second. You're telling me his ego is going to let him leave Manchester United, go to Juventus, be successful, come back and not be successful at Manchester United, considering he's got a massive ego? Are you honestly going to tell me that he's going to allow that as a person and as a man? Absolutely not. I'm just following your logic. You say he's egotistical. Okay, then sweet. You're going to tell me he's going to allow that? Absolutely not. So either he's not egotistical and you've just got an agenda, or he's not the problem. There's bigger stuff that's the problem at Manchester United.
Yes.
The whole club is a mess.
Yeah. Facts.
And we're talking Manchester United here, the biggest club in the world. I have no problem saying that as a Liverpool fan. We were that. Used to pass us because of how bad we were off the pitch.
And we're going the same way.
Graham Souness, Roy Evans, and then we had Phil Thompson, and then we got Gerard Houllier in, who I absolutely love, by the way. Yeah. Co-managers. Gerard Houllier was co-managers with Roy Evans. How does that make any sense?
Yeah, that's wild. You know what? That's that wild that I forgot that happened. Like that is crazy.
And then we had Nicholas Anelka in his prime. No, we want El Hadj Diouf.
I know where you go with this. Yeah. You bring. I know that one still scorns you because you bring that up quite often.
We had Fernando Torres. Oh no. Let me get Andy Carroll.
Spot on.
Do you know what? Xavi Alonso. Let's get Aquilani. Who?
Aquilani. Yeah.
So it's like we have set a blueprint, right, of what not to do. Yeah. United are just following it to a T.
Yeah.
And listen, Manchester United are the biggest football club in the world. You should be operating as the biggest football club in the world. Yeah. You should have the best of the best in every position.
Yeah. Facts.
Boardroom level, manager level.
Yes.
You're honestly going to tell me Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is elite manager level for Manchester United? Forget that he's a club legend. Forget that for a second. I don't care if you absolutely love him for the 99 moment. Cool. Take that out of the equation for a second. Answer me this. Do you want your club to be successful? Yes. Yeah. If this question is yes, do you honestly think if you put top 5 managers in the world, Klopp, Guardiola, Ancelotti, Jose Mourinho, right?
I'm just letting you go for the sake of the argument. Go on.
I'm just trying to think of another manager. And then let's say a Nuno, for example. No, a Bielsa,
Yeah.
And then you put Solskjaer in that mix. Who's coming last? It ain't Bielsa.
Yeah, that's true.
Ain't
that's
Klopp.
A valid point.
Ain't Guardiola. And do you know how wild that is? Bielsa's just been promoted with Leeds. How is he not last?
Yeah, how's the manager who's just come up from the Premier League, just come up to the Premier League, I should say, not last? Just want to we'll get to some of the comments as well, because I can see some of you lot are missing the point on Pogba. Like, we're not talking about his footballing ability, but we're going to get to that. Ram says, yo, big up Flawless, and what is that? He says Stro. Is that a name he's giving you, a nickname? Shout out, Ram.
Wow, what's he said?
He said,
with Dad?
Nah, he said Q-Gun Stro.
Oh, Qui-Gon.
What's all right, is it not for radio?
Nah, it's basically because, like, obviously on the football terrace, everyone jokes that I'm his dad and stuff like that. They're basically saying, like, Qui-Gon Jinn, when Anakin first came in, was like a father figure.
Okay, all right. Here we go. Pogba ain't had a good, complete season since Juve. I disagree with that. Josh says, Faxtro, I don't know what is going on. Pogba is a commercial asset who is being wasted. Jaden Sancho is watching this unfold. Nathan says, if Pogba had an Ozil 15-16 season or De Bruyne 19-20 season in the Prem, I'll respect it. Because you're a top 3 midfielder, supposedly you should be consistent all the time. Pogba hasn't even hit 11 assists in one season. Michael and Aiden Andrews says, these men live on Pog's technical ability. What I will say is, name me another holding midfielder who's got 11 assists in a season.
Took the words out of my mouth.
Pogba plays as a 6, so we're going to judge him on holding midfielder stats. He plays in a 4-2-3-1 and a double pivot. That's a holding midfield role, regardless of So if you can name me, Nathan or Aiden Andrews, 3 other midfielders who hit 11 assists playing that position in an inconsistent side, please let me know.
Aiden, do me a favour. So obviously we're talking about Pogba's stats, right? Firstly, what team do you support? Secondly, name a midfielder from that team that you wouldn't swap Pogba with.
Exactly.
And I'll come on to it in a second. Because I've got a question and I've got a certain stat which I'm going to throw out in a minute.
And that's where people get it confused, because the issue I have with... we're not even talking about Pogba's level of ability. Like, that's not the question. We started this speaking on his comments, and I have no issue with his comments. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can talk... I've given up trying to persuade people. Let me say that again. I've given up trying to persuade people and have debates with people about Pogba's ability, because people who don't like Pogba just don't like him. So it's like, there's nothing I can say on this mic or any other platform that can change your mind. So it is what it is. Like I said, there is no other holding midfielder you would expect to get 10 assists. There's not one. Play De Bruyne in a 6 and see how many assists he get.
Exactly.
Play him in a 6. Play him as a holding midfielder, but all of a sudden, because it's Paul Pogba, he's supposed to be a holding midfielder, but then be our most creative player. Bear in mind that season he was our most creative player, but it is what it is. Josh says flawless with the flawless argument. Yeah, salute to Josh. The first season when Pogba came to United, the stats were better than when he was at Juve the previous season, so it's a myth that he played his best football at Juve. Exactly my point. And he played in a better team in Juve with a better midfield and a better manager. This guy played next to Pirlo, who's one of the best midfielders of our generation, and he played next to prime Vidal. Not Vidal now. See, Jan City said this, and she's a City fan. De Bruyne was played deep and he isn't as effective, although he would still probably get 11 assists as he's cold. So that being said, I get what you're saying. He could possibly get 11, but we're talking De Bruyne, who is arguably the best attacking midfielder in Europe. You can argue that he's in that debate. People are talking about if De Bruyne gets in the best Premier League side of all time. So look at the levels we're comparing Pogba to. You know what I'm saying? And De Bruyne playing in that Manchester City team with a Pep Guardiola as well, with all them quality players around him, a quality system. Ram says, for me, Pogba needs players around him. People expect him to be a runner in midfield. I don't think he can do that. Look at Juve's team. He says, Marchisio, Pirlo, Vidal. Pirlo and Vidal were the perfect foil for him. Perfect foil for him. Because,
and not even that, when you look at it, so you've got Marchisio, Pirlo, Vidal, right? They're three defensively minded players. Pogba played on the left of a diamond, right? He had the freedom. He could drift wide, he could come inside, he could go into the number 10, because then they would just go to a flat 3 and he'd play as the number 10. Yes. He's not got that freedom at Manchester United.
And that's my whole point, is give him freedom. And you know what also Juve did, which people forget at Manchester United? Dominate the ball. It doesn't matter how bad your team is defensively if you dominate the ball. To me, Manchester United have the players, when they play in the Premier League, to dominate the ball against most teams. Take out your Liverpools, your Cities, maybe Chelsea away, maybe Spurs away. To me, against the majority of the teams in the Premier League, United should dominate the ball 60 to 65%, and we don't do that. But
I'm just seeing a comment, right, from Nathan, where it's like he had Ibrahimovic, Lukaku, Rashford, etc., and he couldn't get 15 assists. Here's my issue with that, right? Gini Wijnaldum has the best forward line in the Premier League for the past 2 years in Mane, Salah, and Firmino. He's not had an assist for 3 years. What's the argument?
Yes. Does that mean Wijnaldum's no good?
He is arguably one of our most effective midfielders. Look at how he performed at Manchester City. There's no argument to be had. Stats aren't everything. Stats are not everything.
Not everything. So he also says here, Aiden Andrews says, Pogba ain't always played as a defensive midfielder though. And when he hasn't played as a defensive midfielder, when Oli first came in, the interim role, and Pogba averaged a goal and an assist every 90 minutes, which helped Oli get the job. And then under Mourinho, he didn't always play as a defensive midfielder, and he topped the list for everything. He was our highest goal scorer, our highest attacker. You know what I mean? He was our most creative player. He won the ball back more than anybody else also. And he had most passes into the final third. Most duels won. He topped the list for everything that season. So that's my whole point. But yeah, like I said, some people just don't rate him, so it is what it is. It is what it is. Moving on. All right, where do you want to go to next? Actually, before you go to next, get the likes up, people.
Yeah, hit the like button.
So hit the like button if you're watching live on Pi Radio YouTube right now. Make sure you share this across all your socials, whether you're watching this live right now or watching this back. And subscribe to the Pi Radio YouTube and hit the notification bell. We go live. If you're listening via DAB or more traditional radio means, thank you for locking in, and we appreciate the support.
Yeah, salute, man.
Oh, the word's out. Okay. So, wait, we'll say that. Flawless is because he's 6'3", big, athletic, strong, and can dribble. Man think he's another Vieira. He's nothing like Vieira. They expect him to do too much. That is my whole point. If Pogba was 5'8" and slim, we wouldn't expect him to play as a 6. But because he's 6'3", and he's big and he can dribble and he's strong, we expect him to be Vieira, and that's not the case. Just because he's built like Patrick Vieira doesn't mean he's not Patrick Vieira. Yeah, and also because he's French. Just because they're both French and black and big and strong and 6'+ doesn't mean that he's Patrick Vieira. Like, people don't seem to be able to understand that, but it is what it is. There's no other attacking midfielder in the Premier League at a top club who's expected to play as a 6. I don't think it's ever happened. No. I can't remember it ever happened.
I can't.
You know what I mean? Never happened. All right, so yeah, word is out. Ahmed says it here. Big up Flawless. Happy to see you coming on Rance's channel on Thursday. So Ahmed, I'm presuming Rants has put it out again today since you said that, but thank you, innit? Salute to everyone who's supporting. I will be on Rants' channel on Thursday. Shout out Rants and Bants. I'm gassed to do it. You get what I'm saying? So if he's live right now, make sure you cross over and tell him I gave him a shout out and that. Exactly, Doran Wood said it. He's nothing like Vieira. Shout out Yan City. He was like, I'll take Pogba on loan at City. He walks into City's midfield, but that's a whole nother debate. It's a whole nother debate. I know Aiden Andrews, we're just putting it out. Like, I don't use stats as the main source. I use it to back up my argument. That's how I use it as. It's to back up my argument. So I'll state something and be like, right, this looks into that. But it is what it is. It don't fit your argument, so that's what it is. I've been on Rance's case for time to bring you on, my brother. I appreciate that, man. Love for that. Thank you, because you lot made it happen. Ahmed is Rance's main man, innit? Yeah, man, Ahmed out here, you know what I'm saying? He is out here, so I appreciate that, because you lot made that show happen with Rance. Me and Rance spoke yesterday. You lot made it happen, so I will be over there every Thursday, 7 p.m. But yeah,
7 p.m.
Moving on. Anyway, where are we going to? Rance said, watching you, Flawless, from Zambia, Africa. You're all the way from the motherland, from Africa. I love for that. Everyone, actually, before we move on, let us know where you are watching from. We want city and country. So not just the city, not just the country. We want the city and the country you are watching from, please.
Yeah, if you're from, don't just say London. Where in London?
Yeah, where in London, yes.
Like, if you're from Manchester, don't just say, like, where.
Yeah.
Like, give us an idea.
Give us an idea. But yeah, go on. Where are we going to go to next? I think we have to speak on it. How the media just do what the media do. But I like how the fact with social media and content creators, we're able to be the loud minority. You know what I'm saying?
I have so many issues.
Go on. You kick it off. So I'll let you explain it.
So, Raheem Sterling, they went after him first. I beg anyone come against me and say that they didn't go after him. Look at what they did.
Yes, they definitely did.
It was a disgrace.
Facts.
And these man have the cheek not only to go into press conferences, to report on games, and then have the cheek to kick it out. And try and share that message to make themselves look good on social media. But yet you're absolutely dragging a young man's name through the dirt. So we'll touch on the Raheem Sterling one first, because I think context is key. The gun tattoo. Oh, he's a thingy. He's supposed to be a role model. Right, number one, he never has to be a role model. Never.
Yeah.
Look at him. He is a role model. If I've got a son and I can pick a group of friends for him to be with, Raheem Sterling would be one of them. Marcus Rashford would be one of them. Mason Greenwood would be one of them. Let me just make that clear. And these are the three men that you see getting dragged through the dirt, and it's a disgrace. So, Sterling's gun tattoo. For those of you who don't know, his father was shot dead. Sterling shoots with his right foot. That's why the gun tattoo is on his right ankle, because it's something historic and it's something that means a lot more than what it is. And you have the nerve to put that in a newspaper and drag his name through the dirt.
Facts. Talk about it.
Talking about his dead dad. Number one, Marcus Rashford. You know what? Sir Marcus Rashford. That's what he should be for what he's doing.
Let's go.
This man is doing something that our government is too inept to try and do, or don't want to do. There's underprivileged kids. There's underprivileged people in the UK. This man's got a platform. He's using his platform in the ways that I've not seen many footballers do. So, for example, it started with Jordan Henderson, and when the captains came together, and Marcus Rashford, not even a captain at Manchester United, was involved in that conversation. Why? Because he's a leader in his society, in his community. And I love to see it. I've seen him round Wythenshawe. I've seen him round them areas. I've seen him round underprivileged areas in Manchester, because he's making a difference. This man campaigned against our Prime Minister to make sure that underprivileged kids were fed. And he won. And what? The media have a problem with it?
Facts.
And then, for example, Phil Foden doing the right thing, being smart with his money. Because listen, we've seen it with Mario Balotelli when he's just throwing his money left, right and centre. They were quick to throw newspaper articles about him because he's not spending his money correctly, or he's being wild with his money.
Listen, I just want to put this out there. Let me look him in the camera and say this. If you make your money in a fair, law-abiding way, and you're rich because of your talent, you can spend your money however you want to. That is no, as long as you're not harming nobody, that's nothing to do with nobody. So if Rashford wants to buy his family a house or whatever, or Foden does, no business whatsoever. And you don't even have to be a millionaire. Even if you work a 9 to 5 like we all do here, We all work, and I'm sure everyone in the comments as well, minus Yan City, because she rich. Everyone here works on 9, yeah, she's rich. Everyone works on 9 to 5. Imagine someone telling you how to spend your money. Your hard-earned money that you work for. Like, no, you can spend your money however you want. That is nothing to do with football. This is the issue I have with newspapers and journalists. They talk about Marcus Rashford, the human being, Raheem Sterling, the human being, Mason Greenwood, the human being. You don't know Mason Greenwood, the human being. You don't know Marcus Rashford, the human being. You don't know Raheem Sterling, the human being. You know them as footballers. So talk about their footballing. Talk about their football. That's what you need to talk about. If they're doing something that's affecting them on the pitch, cool. If Rashford, Sterling or Greenwood or whatever footballer was caught smoking or taking drugs or stumbling out of a nightclub or liquored up, that makes sense because they are harming their body, which then can affect their performance on the pitch.
And here's the thing, right? So Phil Foden, like I was saying, doing what he should be doing is setting his next generations up so they're comfortable, right?
Yeah.
Rashford is just doing the exact same thing. So why are the two different stories being published?
Facts.
For the same thing. And listen, I agree. Like, if I'm Marcus Rashford in that position, I've seen how completely naive, ridiculous, and how inept them are, the MPs are at doing their jobs to feed underprivileged. Obviously, I'm going to protect my family at that point.
Yes.
I'm going to make sure they're set up correct.
Facts.
Because he's fighting to make sure that other people in his position can get fed. Do you understand how ridiculous that is? How big the UK is?
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that a young adult, a footballer, who has never been to Parliament, he's never been in Parliament arguments.
Facts.
He has no right to even do what he's doing. And listen, I said this on Saeed's show, if there's a man, when he comes to Anfield, when the fans are back, deserves a standing ovation, it's him.
Because there's some things that are bigger than football, and that is one of them. When you out here feeding kids who could go hungry, it's bigger than football. Because if Marcus Rashford was a Liverpool player, I'd be saying the same thing. We need to defend him. One thing on social media and when we are creating content is we need to continue to defend Marcus Rashford, Greenwood right now, Sterling, and keep digging out these publications and these newspapers and these journalists. We need to boycott like what Liverpool did with the Sun. We need to start boycotting these newspapers. We need to start dropping these journalists' names, first names and surnames on social media and get their names trending. And the reason, obviously, that will give them publicity, but get them trending to boycott them. That's what it is. Use one hashtag Ollie out, Glazers out, Ollie in, like all that type of energy there. I'm just using United fans as an example. Put that energy towards that. Get that trending. Soon as a journalist says something wild about Greenwood or Rashford, get them trending. Whatever the journalist's name, hashtag out.
Because, but this is the thing, right? So, newspapers are like dinosaurs now, realistically.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, they're completely like dinosaurs. This is a new time. They're not what they used to be. So they have to resort to drastic measures with the clickbait and stuff like that. Listen, there's a reason why you see newspapers now trying to put podcasts out. Because you can't compete with some of the stars that you got on YouTube. You can't compete with the likes of Saeed. Can't compete with the likes of Aaron. Can't compete with Nuruddin, yourself, Rants, Expressions. You can't compete with them, man. You can't.
Yeah, I love for that. I was going to put myself in there,
but you can't. Like, you can't compete with that.
Yeah,
so the only way you can do is go and use a dirty tactic by using clickbait stuff.
Yeah.
Because you'll get your generic football fan.
Yeah.
They're not fans of you.
True.
They're reading the story because it involves them. It involves Manchester United. So obviously they're going to read the story. Then you get other football fans involved. They're going to read the story because they just want to know. Everyone wants to know things.
Facts.
Everyone is nosy when it comes to stuff like this.
Facts.
So you know what you're doing.
Well,
and it's wrong.
Definitely.
You wouldn't... Why are you not doing that to Jordan Henderson?
True. I'm sure Rashford's not the only player who's bought his family a house. Like, this is normal behavior. This is what you should do. This is what most people from working class backgrounds would do if they got rich. If I got rich, I'm covering everybody. Family, friend, I'm covering everybody. Stroll, JV, everybody, all my whole circle is getting covered. Like, that's just how the majority of working class people are. I don't understand it. We're going to get to some of the comments here. Yancey said, adding extra words to his statement about guns as well made all the difference. Exactly. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Deco90, salute to you. He says, yes, Stroll, 100% true. Nathan says the media is so useless. It's all these. I can't say that because we're on live radio that are eating pot noodles and getting no action. So they take their anger out on people that they dream to be. Tyrese TGT says there's a whole thread about it. One second, where's the comment gone? There's a whole thread on Twitter about it, how they did Sterling in the newspapers and Sky Sports. It's a long thread too. Trash. Yestro speaking the truth, says Ahmed. Yan City says, Akala made a good point today. The media, society, etc. are triggered that working class people can become millionaires. You don't get the same for golf, Formula One, tennis, etc. And the ones they do slate, the Williams twins, Lewis Hamilton and Tiger Woods. And I'm not playing a race card, but you tell me what they all have in common. Any rich person invests in property. The government themselves have several houses worth well over the 2 million that they are slating Rashford for. Of course, what is wrong with that? What is wrong with that? But I'm glad we have platforms like this and everybody can see it, and it's people of all different races and that. For real though, who cares about a newspaper, dinosaur movements? Tyrese TGT agreeing with you. The culture is winning and we keep it moving. Facts. Gabriel Emery says, preach, Stro. Yansei says, cool, hurry up and get rich, flawless. I need a house. You're rich. You buy me a house. Ram says, if I was rich, I'm buying my parents a house straight away. That's what most normal, if you get on with your parents, you're more likely to do.
Exactly.
I don't understand why this is a shock. But they are just reaching because, like you said, they're reaching to stay relevant. Because I've said this before, if you look at a United Central with Saeed, Mr. Aaron United, or Rants, if you look at, I just use those three as an example. Certain publications don't do their numbers a month. Don't do their numbers a month. Like Saeed will do, say, a video and he gets 25k. If he does 4, obviously he does more than 4, but let's say he does four of those videos a month, that's 100k. You think certain publications will get 100k views a month? Not a chance.
Same with the football terrace. Like, there's no way they're getting them kind of numbers, kind of views.
No chance. And that type of reach as well with the amount of different people that you've got in there as well. Shout out Mr. Football Terrace Terry, you get what I'm saying? Here we go. Rashford bought his mum a house ages ago. This has come out now on purpose to slate his character. Imagine that's how you slate a man's character, you know. You buying your mum a house. It's ridiculous.
And I look at the timing when he embarrassed the government.
He made them look bad. He did. He made them look bad. Oh yeah, as well, because it is international break. Just before me and Stroll finish this part of the conversation. Any questions you do have, this is a Q&A, so you can ask us anything Premier League related. So it can be any team, any player. Get your questions in now so we can just run through them, because I know we do these shows and normally there's free mics, and because there's been a weekend of football, we don't get to all the questions. So now's the chance to get your questions in. And make sure you hit the like button as well on the video.
Yeah, please hit the like button. Please.
Yes, hit the like button. But yeah, get your questions in now so we can run through them. Go on, Stro.
It's just, it's frustrating because the man doesn't deserve any form of criticism. He's doing what every single person with money would do in that situation. After everything my mum and dad sacrificed for me to be in a position that I'm in, obviously I'm going to pay them back and get my house. How is that? One, how is that even news? Secondly, how is that even criticised?
Yeah, exactly. Ahmed here says this. Sorry, I missed your comment. He said, lads, buying a house as a footballer makes so much sense because ballers pay the most tax. Instead of giving tax, put the money in an investment for the future. It's smart in capital letters, of course. It's common sense. Common sense. Yeah, go on, continue, Stro. And then we'll touch on England and international break. And like I said, get your questions in now. Yeah, anything Premier League questions, anything Premier League related you want to know now, because we do miss comments. This is your chance now.
And then we move on to Mason Greenwood. His best friend committed suicide. How old is he?
It's a kid, he's 19.
Right. My little sister passed away in 2012, yeah? So that's 8 years ago, right? That still haunts me to this day. I'm not in a situation where I'm under the limelight like a Mason Greenwood at Manchester United, the biggest club in the world, where every move that I get gets criticised.
Yeah.
He's still a kid. People need to realise that he's going to make mistakes. I made mistakes. You've made mistakes. Every person that comments obviously made a mistake at that age. So what? We're just going to completely tarnish him and we're just going to make him worse. And these are the men that are preaching about mental health.
Facts.
What mental health? You clearly don't care about mental health. You're dragging his name through the dirt because it benefits you and your job. Because you'll get a pay rise for a certain amount of clicks. You'll get, same with Rashford, same with Sterling. Leave these men alone. Start being fair. Start going after players that don't have a certain skin colour. How about that? Start criticising people that deserve to be criticised, not because of the colour of the skin. It's a disgrace.
I say this all the time. There's lots of reasons to dislike people. It's like, but skin colour is not one of them. Who said it? I can't remember who said it, but it might have been Martin Luther King. I could be getting this wrong. It's like, judge people by the content of their character, not the color of their skin. I think that's an MLK quote. But yeah, I can't believe I'm out here quoting MLK. That's mad. I never thought I'd do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, just never thought. But yeah, judge people by the content of their character. You get me? Be fair is what we're saying. Be fair. Like I'm saying, like, don't unfairly criticize.
Yeah, but this is the world that we're living in, Flawless. Is they can't be fair because it doesn't benefit their agenda. It doesn't benefit their narrative.
Get rid of these agendas. Oh, it's ridiculous.
Get rid of these newspapers.
You know what? But we've not fully got rid of newspapers, but they've been replaced. They've been replaced
by what I just said. The likes of yourself, Aaron, Saeed, Nuruddin, Rants, Adam Matic, Expressions, Terry, people like that. They have been replaced, and rightfully so. Yeah, because they've been replaced. All them people you name there, even whether I disagree or agree with their footballing opinions, I respect them all. And there's more. We could list them all. You know what I'm saying? Even people in the comments, you people like Ram, I respect. Exactly. Like, I prefer Ram's opinion to one of these newspapers. And Ram's a Liverpool fan who has his Liverpool biases, but I still respect his opinion and think he's good at what he does. You know what I'm saying? And he's a kid. It's like, these people are a generation above us. You're talking some of these foolish, that's what I say to keep it clean, foolish journalists at our parents' age and older. These are all 50, 60, 70s. And that's the problem, because they're that age. And it was kind of accepted at that point. Generational, it was okay back then, but it's not okay now. Whereas we probably won't see the change until our generation gets to that age. Do you know what I mean? And then we teach it down to our generation. It's like, listen, that's not acceptable. All right, we'll get to some of these questions now. We will do. Keep the questions coming in, people. Tyrese TGT says, oh, no, actually, this is a great point. He says, I was always taught to never count another man's pockets as a younger. Crazy how that doesn't translate to most, but that's life. Exactly. I don't watch nobody else's pockets. Exactly. That's nothing to do with me. Concentrate on your own pockets and getting them fat. Yeah. That's what you have to do. If you had to take one player from your team to be personal security, if you had the money, who would it be? Mine has to be Kolasinac. Man saw someone back a blade and thought it was nothing. Ooh, I like that funny question. That's a good question. That's a great question. Who would I take as Manchester United? Who is the... I'm trying to think, you know. Mine's easy. Who's yours going? Who you Van taking? Dijk. I thought you was gonna say Hendo or Robertson, you know. I'm not gonna lie. Nah, Van Dijk. You're gonna take Van Dijk. Who do I take? You know what? It might have to be Maguire, because he was willing to go jail and that, the way he backed his sister in Greece. 100% Maguire. So I would probably say Harry Maguire and that. You know what I'm saying? I'd probably go, because he was down. We were in a foreign country and he backed it. Obviously, we don't know the full story, but he backed it. Right, okay, let me remix it. You pick one from us, but you can't pick I can't Van pick Dijk, you I can't pick Maguire. That's great. Who do I pick from you? As much as it pains me to admit, because I do slander him a lot, it'd be Henderson. Yeah. I think he's got that energy and he's got that fight. Yeah. So I go with Henderson, and I've seen him front up players on the pitch. I go with Henderson. What about you? Who's yours? From ours, obviously, you can't pick Maguire. It's tough. It's tough for Manchester United. I had to wrap my brains, because you don't really have those type of characters like that in the team. Fernandes? He is that character. Fernandes is a good shout. Fernandes is a good shout. Yeah. Fernandes is a good shout. That's a phenomenal question, by the way. Yeah, that's a great question. Like I say, get your questions in, get your footballing questions in, people. Ahmed said, who is your replacement for Southgate? Mine is Howe or Wilder. Who do I get? You know what? I'll probably go left field, but you know who I get with the attacking players England have, and I think he could get the best out of him because he's a young manager. Nagelsmann, that's who I'd go for. Breath of fresh air, younger manager, good ideas, all that youth, all them great attacking players England have. I go Nagelsmann. Who are you going for? I think Eddie Howe definitely deserves a big job. He should have left Bournemouth when he had the chance. I rate him as a manager so much. I rate his vision. I rate the style of football that he tries to play. But it ain't him who I'd go get. You going for? This man's in a job. Premier League already. Ancelotti? Nope. Bielsa? Nope. Brendan Rodgers. There you go. I knew he'd be one of them. We got there in the end. Brendan Rodgers is a shout, actually. Because of the attacking players? Yes. Think of the 14-15 season for us. Yeah. The kind of football I think he would thrive. I think he would thrive. That's a great shout. I'm not going to change mine, but I think Rodgers is a great shout. And obviously yours is more realistic too. Okay, Lauren Wood says Son or Mane? Woo! Mane. Yeah, Mane. Good question, though. That was a good question. I absolutely love Son. Yeah. I wanted him when he was at Bayern Leverkusen. I was devastated when he went to Tottenham, but come on now. Yeah, definitely. But that being said, because if we did a Premier League 11, Mane gets into on my left-hand side. So there's no one I would pick above him currently. But I rate Son very highly. Yeah, I'd rate Son very highly. Deco Knight says, do you think Man United are happy to allow the media agendas to continue as it would generate
generates clickbait views. Surely they would have issued a statement otherwise. Who knows with Manchester United? I wish they would come out and back it. Who knows? I'm unsure. Not to bring Grealish in the mud, but we've forgotten so quick about his drink driving antics, which could have killed someone in lockdown. I wonder why. You answered your own question with that. I wonder why. But yes, we all know. And I'm a fan of Grealish. But if that was Greenwood or Martial, or imagine if that was Pogba. Exactly. Lord of mercy. Lord of mercy. There we go. Someone said Eric Bailly. That's a shout. Tyrese GTG says defo Bailly in terms of the what's it called? In terms of security guard. The security guard question. Machiavelli says Pogba because he knows martial arts. Ahmed also says I would take Bailly all day in capital letters. I didn't think of Bailly.
To be fair, Bailly's wild.
Yeah, he's wild and that. Like, he is wild. I want someone a bit more
like composed.
A bit more composed. Like, he's too
wild. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yannicka says, Yan City says Edison. He's from the favelas. Ram says Allison. One headbutt from Maguire and you are finished. That's why I went with Maguire. Bailly for United to Stefan. Machiavelli says Wenger or Hal for England. Wenger. FTBL Will says, you're a Chelsea fan. I've seen you pop up before, actually, if I remember correctly, in my socials, so salute to you. Big up to Malcolm as well, locked in.
Yeah, salute.
If you had to give yourself a speed rating on FIFA, that means what would your acceleration and sprint speed be, plus overall speed rating as well? I can't read people, it was just confusing. So what's our acceleration and what's our top speed? On a 1 to 100. I can shift, but I'm not the quickest. But I can shift. But I'm not lightning fast. The only person getting away from me dribbling with the ball is if you're lightning fast. If you're quick, I'll be able to catch you. So what'd I say? Acceleration. That's a good question. Acceleration probably like 80, 81 for me. Speed 83, 84. Around that. I can shift. What about you?
See, with me, because obviously I played up front, I was always... I'm trying to think of the player I'd most... Think of Bergkamp. He could time his runs. Perfect, do you know what I mean? Didn't have to be the quickest because he could time... Ruud van Nistelrooy,
yes.
Probably the better example, is I was always on the shoulder. I'd say 74 acceleration, probably about 78 sprint speed because I'm quicker when I'm starting to get going.
That's fair enough. Bear in mind, people, I'm a central midfielder. I'm a 6. I'm not Pogba and I'm not being played out of position. I'm a holding midfielder. Stroll seen me. I played the game for your team. Yeah, so Stroll can vouch for that I'm a 6. Ram says, greatest English manager to never manage England. Mine is Brian Clough. Yeah, I think you agree with that. Is there anyone else you can think of?
Brian Clough.
It's Brian Clough. Nagelsmann won't go to England. He's German. They don't do that. That is a valid point, but I was just putting it out there. Like, you can approach him. Why not? He would have thought Capello would have managed England.
Exactly.
You would have thought, bear in mind, he managed the international, the early international team as well.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Oh, if you throw a big enough bag at some of these managers, it could happen.
They'll take it.
Yeah. Musave Abra says, do you think United will sack Oli or protect his legacy? He's no legacy to protect in terms of his managing legacy because he doesn't have one at Manchester United. But in terms of his playing legacy solidified, to me, my personal opinion is United fan, he can never ruin that. And it's not just the goal in 99. He scored so many goals. He was a part of such a successful period. You can't question Ollie's legendary status as a player. But as a manager, I've said this before, it's just a question of when he gets sacked and not if. That's what I'll go with. What do you reckon?
I agree.
Tyrese TGT says, I actually can't believe we're trusting Southgate with this generation of players, bro. It is what it is.
Correct me if I'm wrong, did he have Sancho at right wing back yesterday?
That's what Aaron said. I didn't watch the game.
People in the comments, did please, I hope this is wrong. Did Southgate have Jadon Sancho at right wing back yesterday? Can someone please answer that question for me? I was watching the Cardinals and Buccaneers and NFL because I just knew England were going to get washed. So I didn't watch the game, but let me know because that's wild. Yeah, if that's true, he needs sacking just off that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wild. Ahmed says, Maguire would snitch. Any pressure Maguire would break and snitch. You would be on Crime Watch the same day. But he's personal security. You know what I'm saying? So you get around that. Personal security, you have certain licenses to do certain things that regular civilians can't. Nathan Ram says his acceleration would be 72, speed 55. He said man's a right back, so like 84, says Nathan. Stefan says accuracy, acceleration 70, speed 65, but tech 85. I don't care. Deco 90 says, do you have a second team you enjoy or low-key support in football? I'll let you answer that first.
I have 2.
Go on.
I've got a soft spot for Celtic because I've got family ties. So the song that Celtic walk out to, which is known as the Celtic song, is one that my great uncle wrote. So I've got big family ties to Celtic, and I can go to the games whenever I want. And so I've got although obviously it's painful because Gerrard's now at Rangers, is like that conflict inside of me. So it's like,
that's messed that up for you there.
Yeah,
that's messed that up for you there.
It kills. But so obviously Celtic, I've always loved Real Madrid for obvious reasons, the Galacticos. But I've got a real soft spot for Leeds United.
Jeez. Why is that? Because they dislike United as much as you do?
Yeah. No. I just, for example, that Viduka, Ian Hart left back.
Right, the team you're talking about, that, right.
Like that team that came through, like, I just remember that 3-2 game at Highbury and Kuehl scored. I've always had a soft spot for Leeds, and I've always wanted to see him back in the Premier League, and it's good to see them back.
All right, fair enough. Teams I don't have a second team I enjoy, that's a bit much. Soft spot probably isn't the correct word, but there's teams who I look at and I'm like, it's nostalgic. So both Milan sides, because I remember watching Serie A growing up as a kid. Obviously, you got your Brazilian Ronaldo for Inter Milan. You got Maldini for AC Milan. You got Kaká for AC Milan. You got other players for Inter Milan, but mainly Brazilian Ronaldo. And I remember watching Serie A. It was Channel 4, wasn't it, with James Richardson?
Channel 4,
yeah,
James Richardson.
Every Saturday. I remember watching that show growing up. Every Saturday, without fail, I'd be up watching that show. And then they'd show live games. So both Milan clubs. Also Everton I like as well. Because, they dislike Liverpool as much as we do. So, so Everton also, I would say so. Obviously, when they don't play Manchester United. You hear me? Enemy of my enemy is my friend and all that. One of the 48 laws of power. Here we going? Where we at? Eddie Martin says Ramsdale, Bob Paisley. Because I didn't see these managers, I'm just going off what they did. So that's what it is. And he did. Had Sancho at right wing back and Dominic Calvin-Lewandowski at right wing, says Tyrese.
So how does that make any sense?
Yeah. Apparently, Sergio Ramos is the greatest ever centre back by French football. Ram says that. Okay.
But when you look at his numbers, it's hard to debate.
Yeah, there's more than he's not the greatest ever.
No,
I think he's in the conversation.
No, he's in the conversation. But what I'm saying, if you go off number, this is where stats and eye test.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's why I say I use stats to back up my arguments, but I don't base it off that. Yes, I don't base it. I use it to back it up. But it's, again, when you get into these type of questions and we're rating players, it's preference.
It's preference. It's always
what
preference.
Do you like as a centre back? It's preference. That's why John Terry never gets in. I think he's a quality defender, but he'll never get in my best 11s because I like my centre backs to have pace. That's just me though. That's not taken away from how good a centre back John Terry was in the Premier League, like not at all.
Which is why I always find it funny that the Gerrard, Lampard, Scholes comparison, the 3 different midfielders.
Yes.
The only 2 that can remotely be compared is Lampard and Gerrard. Even then, they played in different systems.
Yes, in different systems, yeah. That's the whole point.
And that will always come down to preference. Chelsea fans are always going to back
Lampard.
United fans are always going to back, and we're always going to back Gerrard. So it's like, wild.
Yeah, Ahmed says BBC News would be interviewing Maguire the next day if he's your security. Is what it is. You get me? Man will get him to sign an NDNA. What is it called? Not NDNA.
Yeah, non-disclosure agreement.
Yeah, NDA, sorry.
Yeah, NDA.
Yeah, NDA, that's it. Stefan says, flawless, would you rather United sack Oli now and get Poch or wait until summer 2021 but get Nagelsmann? Sack him now, today. We're at 1956, sack him by 1957. And that's 1900 hours, people, for those who don't know. It's 5 to 8. Yes, sack him now and get Poch in. Because this league, I'm not saying United can win the league. I'm saying this league is up for grabs if you look at what's going on. But we'll get to that next. We'll probably get to that either on this show or next week. Mm-hmm. Because everything else, it could be a Leicester season, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. It could be.
Paisley, Liverpool legend, as a Liverpool fan, surprised you don't agree. I think. He's talking to Ram because Ram said. But like I said, this is before my time, so I can't judge. That's why I don't judge players who I never seen play. When people talk about best, like for instance, a George Best for an example. That's why I never put him in my Manchester United best 11 ever, because I've never seen him, even though my pops speaks highly of him. But it's like, I just never seen him personally. There we go. In Fraudgate got England playing like Salsa Pulis at the moment. I love how Salsa Pulis is sticking on. The Salsa Pulis, that's Mikel Arteta. That's what that is. Question for Stroh. Which manager would you want at Liverpool if Klopp were to leave? That's Kendall. Salute to Kendall.
It's a tough one, because the nostalgia side to me says Gerrard, but it's a big job, and replacing Klopp's like replacing Fergie. It's a no-win situation for you. Nagelsmann, I like the look of him.
Yeah.
I like the style of play. I like what he can bring to the table. If it wasn't Everton, I'd have said Ancelotti.
Ooh, Ancelotti's definitely a shout. Definitely a shout. Man United will always be my team, says Ahmed. Ram says Maldini. I know, Maldini's mine, but you know, it is what it is. But that kind of how I contradict myself, because people like, when I say pace, people don't understand how good Maldini was, that he didn't even need pace. He was just always in the right place at the right time. And he played against prime, top quality forwards, like your Brazilian Ronaldos, Del Piero, Totti, Batistuta, Zamorano. I could go on and on. Hernan Crespo, Chiesa. The list goes on. Boksic, you played for Lazio. See, I'm taking you down memory lane for you, like, Serie A, Lord. And then he played in the Champions League against everyone else, all the other beds, your Raúls and players of that nature, and Henry's. Played against everybody else. Oh, it's wild. Deco 90 says, appreciate you answering United and Porto for me. There we go. Ahmed says, but Villa and Wolves, I got a soft spot for them. I hear what you're saying. I suppose you do. I think most football fans do have a soft spot. Stefan says, best centre-back ever, Nestor. I wouldn't argue with that. I am not arguing you down.
Nestor Maldini, them two as a partnership, for me, is the best partnership I've ever seen.
Okay. That's tough to argue as well. Because I never seen it, I can't call it, but people always talk about the Maldini Baresi. Because of the
my dad says that a lot.
Yeah, because I think they conceded, it was like 18 goals?
18, 19.
Yeah, like I think it was like 60, 70 games, which something wild like that. It's crazy. Eddie Martin says Paisley over Ferguson. He paved the way for people like Fergie and has won more European Cups. Like I said, I never seen Paisley, so I can't really talk. Machiavelli says we have the players to win the title, but we need to sack Oli now and get Poch in, then we can challenge the season. I'm with it. United have a team to challenge, not win. To me, challenge for the Premier League, because we have enough goals in that side. We've seen the Liverpool side do it. They couldn't defend, but because they had goals in the side, they was in the race. And there's no level of that Manchester United side that won that league in this league right now.
But look at the state of this defence. Mignolet in there, Ali Sissoko at left back, or John Flanagan.
Yeah.
Kolo Touré, Martin Skirtle and Glenn Johnson. And we were challenging.
You was challenging, and United's defence, as much as it's criticised, is better than that.
Wow, better than that.
It's better than that. And then they attack. We can score goals. Who was in your midfield for that season?
We had Joe Allen, Jordan Henderson, and Gerrard. And this was Henderson's best season.
Okay.
Because he was the legs for Gerrard.
See that? For some reason, I was thinking it was Alonso Mascherano. Joe Allen. There you go.
The Welsh shabby, Joe Allen.
Lauren Wood says you rate Herrero. Yes, I do rate Herrero.
Oh my Lord.
Quality. And again, don't get it mistaken, because yes, I do like pace, but certain players, there's exceptions to every rule, and he's another one with Maldini. He was just clear quality.
This man was a leader.
Yes.
What a player.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved Herrero.
Ridiculous. Nathan says, hot take, Henry was better than Brazilian Ronaldo. Never forget his performance away against Madrid in the 05-06 season. Man took them for Derby County, plus he's 3-1-0 against him in head-to-head. The head-to-head I don't count, but I wouldn't argue Henry's in the conversation. But to me, Brazilian Ronaldo is the best number 9 I've ever seen.
Brazilian Ronaldo is the best striker I will ever see.
He's the best striker I've ever seen. There isn't anything he couldn't do.
Like, you look at his compilations, right? And I remember specifically, I think it was for Inter Milan, he picks the ball up on the halfway line and he dribbles, and I mean, he's getting kicked. And this is an era where you could get kicked off the park. He's getting blasted left, right and centre.
Yes.
This man would take it round the goalkeeper for fun. Oliver Kahn in a World Cup final, the audacity to take it round the keeper like and slot it, to score 2. The audacity to have a hairstyle like that in a World Cup. Like, this man is a GOAT. Like, for me, honestly, and I've said this story so many times, when I was a kid, yeah, I'm white, but I could tan, like, a lot. Like, I could make myself, like, I catch the sun so easily. And I was in Turkey, and I got the Brazil kit. Obviously, I had to get Ronaldo on the back. I was like, Dad, cut my hair like that, please. Like, I'm starting to look the part. Like, let me. He was like, no, absolutely not. I did it.
No.
Myself.
Ridiculous. I hear that. No, I hear what you're saying. So, yeah, Ronaldo 9 to me, yeah, he's the best number 9 I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah. I've never seen anything like it. Pace, power.
Yeah. left foot, right foot. Can dink it, can
the
go
man
for
got
power.
a standing ovation at Old Trafford.
There you go.
For a hat-trick.
Yes, one of the best. That and the Kaka performance for the AC Milan, one of the two best performances I've seen from an opposition player at Old Trafford ever. Ridiculous.
This is by far the best. Like, honestly, I can't stress how much I love Ronaldo as a player. I was devastated when he retired.
Like, yeah, it's a shame of the injuries as well. He just set pace for everyone. He set pace for everyone. He's that good. Like, that's how good. But like, for those who didn't know, like, in today's day and age, the numbers he would put up would be ridiculous. Because you gotta understand, he's playing against much better defenders. Miles better defenders than what.
I'm talking like these are elite level defenders. Maldinis, Nestas.
Okay, we're talking Nestas, Maldini, who were in his league.
Puyols when he goes to.
Yeah, he was literally in the Italian league, which was built on defending. People forget, man, like Cannavaro and Lilian Thuram was there. People forget this. People forget that these type of defenders were there. Your Gattusos, Arjen Winters, like those type of holding midfielders.
This is what I mean, man. This man's a goat.
It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Is Wayne Rooney the greatest English footballer ever? No. In my lifetime, it's Paul Scholes. But that's just me. It's Paul Scholes. Like the way, obviously, other players praise other players. I think it's his birthday today, actually. But the way that everybody unanimously praises this guy tells you all you need to know. It's not just one or two. There's so many different quotes from the best of the best. You know what I mean? When he asked Zidane, who's your toughest opponent? Paul Scholes of Manchester United. He's the complete midfielder. Like,
but this is what I'm saying. Zidane made comments, not similar, but made comments about Gerrard. I don't see them about Lampard. And for me, England weren't advanced enough to go as a free midfield at that time and just go with Rooney up top.
You don't reckon? Because I reckon they could have done it.
No. I'm saying the management wasn't advanced enough to try it.
Yeah.
If you're not going to go, you go with a two, which is Gerrard and Scholes.
Because you said that, because you made a great point when you said England won 5-1 in Germany. It was a Scholes-Gerrard partnership.
The best performance we've ever had. Gerrard got two. Why?
Cool.
Because he's given the license by Scholes behind him. Scholes can pick the pass into him. Listen, Liverpool fan, I'm always going to pick Gerrard, but Scholes is one of my favourite ever players. And he played for Manchester United. Let that sink in.
Yeah.
When I was doing my badges and I was analysing certain players and stuff like you watch Scholes, Roma at home.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord. Barcelona in the semi-final.
Ridiculous.
Like, this man could do everything. He could control the pace of the game. He could pass it left foot, right foot. He could win a tackle. People used to say he was shocking in a challenge. No. He knew exactly what he was doing.
Yeah, he was leaving his mark at times.
He would set the tempo.
He was leaving his time. Yeah, he was definitely leaving his mark. So you'd say Gerrard, greatest English ever footballer?
No.
Who would you go with?
John Henry, I'm joking. I was about to say. I remember Gascoigne.
Okay, so you go with Gascoigne's a good. That's a good shout. Yes, I understand. I'm just personally I'm going with Paul Scholes.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, but I wouldn't argue you down.
I wouldn't argue Scholes either.
Yeah. This is a great question. Deco 90 says, Messi and Ronaldo, who else completes the current top 5 in the world for you both right now? So Messi and Ronaldo 1 and 2. Lewandowski 3. Okay, give us your other 2. It's tough.
Salah's got to be in there for what he's done for the past couple of years. So you going Salah, yeah? Okay. Obviously, there's no argument here. I'm just getting I'm trying to put my 5 together in my mind. So those 2, Messi, Ronaldo. This is no order, by the way, people. I'd have to put Mbappe in there. I've got to. I think it's a generational talent. Yeah, I think there's my 5.
So go on, give us your 5 then.
Lewandowski, Salah, Mbappe, Ronaldo, Messi.
Okay. Ronaldo, Messi, Mbappe, Mane, I'd put in there.
See,
I think he's that good. I put Mane in there.
I agree.
Shout out Big Soul in the building.
Big
in that Pi Radio head honcho.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Pi Radio hierarchy out here. What are you saying? You good? Big. He likes to be camera shy and that, but salute to Pi again. We salute to Big S in the building. Ronaldo, Messi, Mbappe. I just rate Mane that highly. Like, I'm such a big fan of him. And then who's number 5?
You're not putting Lewandowski in there?
See, that's a preference thing. Even though the amount of goals, yeah, you have to put Lewandowski in there. He's just not my.
No, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I'll go with 11. I'm trying to think. I'm forgetting somebody. I know it's gonna bug me, and when the show finishes, I'm gonna remember who it is. But I'll go Lewandowski then. I'm sure in the comments, people. You know what? People in the comments, let us know. That's a good question.
Yeah, let us know.
Deco, that is a very, very, very good question. Herrero leaving is the reason why the Galacticos failed. Also, Makelele leaving as well. People forget that.
Yeah, letting Makelele go was I can't. Like
Makelele was that good that they named the position after him.
Exactly.
That's how good. It's called the Makelele role. Like, put some respect on his name. When they name a role after, it's like when they name you a street. You know, like in a city or in a country, when they name a street after you. Like, you did something phenomenal. They named the role after him. Ooh, Lauren Wood said Seedorf or Essien. Big fan of Essien, but I gotta go Seedorf. Seedorf looks like he could still play now. You know, when you see him play Soccer Aid.
He could still
literally
play
the top level right now. He still looks in shape. Scholes' pass to Righty for England was unbelievable. Wow, just wow, says Ahmed. Best single game performance in Champions League ever. Henry away versus Madrid 05. Messi versus Bayern at home 14-15, or Wilshere at home Barca in 10-11. Nah, having it. Ronaldo's performance.
Ronaldo at Old Trafford is number one.
Kaka at Old Trafford's in the mix.
In the mix. Gerrard in the Champions League final.
You know what I'm forgetting? You know what the best performance is? Let me look in the camera and I say this. Keane 99 in Turin. Put some respect on that performance.
And he was on a yellow card.
Bear in mind, he's going to miss the game. And he was playing, let's put in his perspective. He's playing against, in a midfield 2, and he's in his 2, against Edgar Davids and Zinedine Zidane.
And he's on a yellow card. It's Keane's performance, man. You lot just, I don't know how old you are, Nathan, but I disagree with that. It's Keane's performance. I'm sorry, that's just me. It's between Gerrard and Scholes. Xavi saw Scholes as the archetype midfielder. Mateus saw Gerrard as the archetype midfielder. Why do people act like Lampard's Premier stats are way better than Gerrard's? Who knows? Nathan says start bench, cut Iniesta, Zidane, Xavi is tough. What? I ain't doing that.
Yeah. Ahmed says, Salah can't get in, man. He's one of them. You can't put him in the top. He's in the conversation. He's definitely. Can't put Mane over KDB. I can. De Bruyne is a shout, but for me, Mane, I just look at him, I'm like, it's Ronaldo, Messi, Mbappe, Lewandowski. You've given 4 there. Ahmed, give us one more. 100% biased because he's my favourite Serie A player. Start Del Piero, bench Bergkamp. I've missed the question here, haven't I? That's what it is. Put the question back in because that's what you lot are talking about in the comments, please.
Yeah, put the question back in.
Yeah, because I've missed it. Makelele was the only reason the Galacticos failed. It's nuts. I wouldn't include Cristiano Ronaldo nowadays. I think you wilding with that. Nathan says, best shadow striker ever in the last 30 years has to be Bergkamp or Del Piero. They were crazy. Yeah,
right,
both in the conversation.
So I have a thing about this.
Nathan, you 22. Yeah, it makes sense. That's why. It makes sense. Yeah. Go on.
Bergkamp.
Yeah.
Stats.
I'm trying to find this question actually.
Weren't great. Right?
Yes. His stats weren't the best.
Look at the impact that he had.
Ridiculous. Bear in mind, he was playing against the team that I support as well and causing us to not win Premier League titles at times.
Now, just bear with me a second. There's a certain striker at the minute whose stats are awful. But the impact he has on the team, Bergkamp-esque. Because he's playing with people in and around him that are better in their positions.
Okay.
He had Pires next to him. Lundberg, Henry. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
That's a ridiculous four.
Yeah. That Arsenal forward, like that left-hand side Arsenal had just to go off that with Henry drifting out there. You had Pires and Ashley Cole was a nightmare. An absolute nightmare. Eddie Martin says, I love Salah, but Mane is the much better technical footballer. Yeah, I'm Mane over Salah, but I rate Salah highly. I just rate Mane that highly. Ram did stay Premier. He did all-time World 11. That's 2. There's not enough time on this show.
I can do my all-time World 11.
All right, go on, give us yours then. I can't do mine. That's too much to choose from.
Casillas.
Okay.
Cafu.
What formation you playing before we continue? 4-4-2 or 4-3-3?
Probably 4-4-2.
Okay, go on, carry on.
Nah, actually, it might be 4-3-3. Right, 4-3-3 right.
That's the problems
Cafu right back. Yeah. Carlos left back. Nesta Maldini.
Mm-hmm.
Zidane. Scholes. Gerrard.
Right.
That's my 3.
Yeah.
Then we've got R9 Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Henry. Cristiano Ronaldo on the right. That's just my preference.
That's a shout still. That's a shout. Sorry, Nathan. Put it. There's so many comments. I beg you put the comment back up again because I like the people talking the question. Or scroll. See if you can find the question.
No, he's put it underneath it. He said start, bench, cut.
Oh, right. Start, bench, cut. Bergkamp, Zola, Del Piero. Right.
Easy.
That's easy. Starting Del Piero. You benching Bergkamp, cutting Zola.
There you go.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, done.
Yeah, that's it. He says also, Nathan also says, I beg you check Jan Oblak's clean sheet record is so mental. Quality goalkeeper.
Yeah, ridiculous goalkeeper. Insane.
See, Aiden Andrews says no alarm. And Ram's got a question, Stroke, can you play centre back?
No, I can't. Play striker my whole life.
My world 11. See, that's tough. Who do I put in goal? I love that team show, but I got to get Ronaldinho in there somewhere.
This is what I'm saying.
That's the point. It's kind of like, all right, I'm trying to think, what goalkeeper do I just look at and be like, you are the guy? Buffon. That's my goalkeeper.
Yeah, for me, it's between Buffon and Casillas.
Yeah, I'll go Buffon. This is where
I had to go with the Brazilians.
Maldini left back.
No Carlos.
Nah, I go Maldini because I still need a strong back four. Because
I know where you're going with the centre backs. I already know where you're going with the centre backs.
Yapstam, I have to put in there.
I knew it. That's why I knew. That's why when I seen Maldini at left back, I knew Stam was angling in there somewhere.
Who's the centre back? You lot help me. I'm trying. All right, I'll keep right back. I think I have to go Cafu. Trying to think. Like I said, this will probably change. Midfield 3. Scholes. Definitely in there. Zidane.
Definitely. If you don't put a certain individual in there, I'm going to be disappointed.
Go on, who is it? I'm trying to wrap my brains.
Makelele. For you.
Yeah, Makelele. Yeah, it has to go. Yeah.
For you.
Yeah, it has to be Makelele.
I have to see a Makelele in that team.
Makelele, Scholes, Zidane. Front 3. Ronaldinho on the left. Brazilian Ronaldo up front. Cristiano Ronaldo right hand side. That's what I got to go with. I just need my centre back, but I can't remember. Nesta's a shout. Costa Curta is also a shout. Definitely. I'm trying to think. Do I go with Nesta? Ooh. Yeah, probably Nesta. Probably Stam Nesta.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Played each other at AC Milan,
as did Maldini.
Exactly. That's a
Cafu.
That is practically the AC Milan back
four. It literally is the back. It's literally, that's what I go with. Yeah, the Makelele, Zidane, Scholes in the midfield, Ronaldinho left, Cristiano Ronaldo right, Brazilian Ronaldo up top. That's mine. Puyol is a shout also. Ram says Buffon, Thuram, Maldini, Nesta, Brahim. Midfield is Beckenbauer, Gerrard, Xavi, Ronaldo, Batistuta, Messi. That's a great team. Stefan says Neuer, Lam, Nesta, Thuram, Maldini.
Yeah, I love Thuram. Loved him.
Yeah. He might get in mind ahead of Nesta, you know. Scholes, Seedorf, Ronaldo, Messi, Ronaldo, R9. Cannavaro is a great shout also. Where is Messi? I'm confused. He has much more to his game than Cristiano Ronaldo.
Clutch moments.
Yes. And play, yes. It's clutch moments. Yes. That's what it is. I've never seen my goats don't cry, miss penalties, crying and retire from international football.
My goats don't get dispossessed on the edge of the box and just walk past like it means nothing. My goats don't get beat 8-2 on aggregate and also 7-0 on aggregate at 2 separate occasions. I'm just saying. That's just me though, you know, without... But listen, and this isn't us showing, like, Messi's a phenomenal footballer. Yes. It's just, this is preference, and obviously your preference is Messi, ours is Ronaldo.
Yeah.
And I'm a Liverpool fan for crying out loud.
Literally, I'm a United fan, so you can see where the bias comes from. But that's just, even bias aside, it's still Cristiano Ronaldo. Still, keep getting your questions in. And again, salute to everybody who is locked in right now. You're listening or watching, or both, of From a Third Eye View on Pi Radio.
If you haven't, please hit the like button.
Yes,
please.
Hit the like button and share it across your socials. So please share this to Twitter. Follow me on Twitter, that's me flawless, or go to Stro. What's your at this moment in time?
At Mr. It's Stro.
So go to our Twitters right now and retweet both our most recent tweets. If you're on Facebook, just share the YouTube link on your Facebook page. If you're on Instagram, share it to your stories. Tag us. Go on.
Yo, this is why I love Jan.
She said Scholes got beat 6-1 on his home turf. Yeah, but Scholes like...
so petty.
Yeah, she's so petty. If you win 2 Champions Leagues, 10 Premier League titles, I let it slide. You know what I'm saying? I let it slide. That's a one-off. I let it slide. So however many leagues he won. Obviously, Messi did bits, but it's like Scholes is just Scholes. You know what I'm saying? And that Scholes is just Scholes. Can't be the same way I say Mr. KDB got beat. Did KDB play when you just got beat 5-1 by Leicester? He did now. My agenda, he did. He was playing in it. He played every minute. I don't even know if he played or not. Well, what are you cracking up at?
Just the comments.
These lot of jokes.
So firstly, it was Saeed would choose 11 Harry Maguires.
Yeah.
And then another one's just come in.
Please keep the questions coming, as Stroll has stated. Ronaldo's performance, Kendall says. I don't know if that's Kendall, Newcastle Kendall. Let us know.
Is it not? If it is or not. I don't think
so. If it is, just let us know.
Yeah, just let us know, innit?
Ronaldo's performance at Old Trafford was crazy, considering he was coming off so many knees, injuries, facts. Messi has, though, to be honest, and that's who we are talking about, haha. Yeah, but I'm just not having it. It's happened too often. Like, one-off games is cool, but I've seen Messi do too many things that bad performances happen. Every player has been beat. Brazilian Ronaldo never won a Champions League. But that doesn't take away from Brazilian Ronaldo. What I'm saying is too many things. That I look at Messi on an international scale and how he's failed. He's been to I think 4 international finals and not won one.
Yeah.
I think he's been to 3 Copa Americas and 1 World Cup. Bear in mind, he went to a World Cup with Argentina on Brazilian soil and failed. If he wins that, he goes down as the greatest Argentinian player ever. Tell me I'm lying.
Great lying.
Yeah, tell me like, that's why. So that's the difference, Jan City. See, there you go. That's why Messi's not in it. My goats don't quit. You know what I'm saying? Most underrated Premier League 11 says.
Most underrated Premier League 11?
Yes. Most underrated 11 in the Premier League. Ram, let us know if you're talking about now or overall. Please let us know. Xavi Alonso, most underrated player in Premier history. I'm a big fan. I called myself Xavi Alonso. He was that good. And then that's when he left, though. Like, I could give him his proper flowers when he left to Real Madrid because he's that good. Like, I wish JV was here because JV, he said it on previous shows. He'll be able to remind you of when I was calling myself that. That's how good he is. So he definitely gets in there.
11, no.
Let us know if it's current or overall. But we'll go current now then. We'll go current. All right, so the most underrated goalkeeper in the Premier League right now.
Pope.
All right. Pope's a shout. Right back. Is it Lamptey?
Yeah, Lamptey.
Left back. I think it's Digne.
Yeah, definitely Digne.
Centre backs. Oh, he said overall, so I think he means everything.
Oh, overall.
All right, let's go then. We'll go overall. All right, goalkeeper.
Van der Sar doesn't get the credit he deserves.
Big facts. Van der Sar. Right back. I'm trying to think of left backs too. I still put Digne in there because his assist record is crazy.
Nah, not a left back overall.
Who? I'm trying to think because
I think right back.
It could be Dennis Irwin, you know.
That's what I was about to say. Dennis Irwin.
It's Dennis Irwin.
Yeah, Dennis Irwin. Especially
people don't give him his flowers.
No.
It's Dennis Irwin. Or it could be, even though he was rated highly, I don't think he was rated as highly as he should have been. Ashley Cole.
Yeah, Ashley Cole for me. Right,
so we'll go Ashley Cole.
Same with Gary Neville at right back. Never ever got the credit he deserves.
Yeah. All right, so Ashley Cole.
Gary Neville.
Gary Neville, yeah.
Right, centre backs. I've got to throw Carragher in there.
Okay, I'll go Carragher.
And then next to him.
Someone said Hippie or Ram. Says Hippie. Hippie is a shout.
Actually, yeah, I'd have you Hippie or
Carvalho, that's my shout.
Hippie and Carvalho.
All right. Are we going 4-3-3 or 4-4-2?
I'll let you decide.
All right, we'll just see what midfielders we can come up with. Xavi Alonso gets in there. Someone said Gilberto Silva. Is that our three? Carrick, yeah. Gilberto Silva, Xavi Alonso. All right, we'll go with those three. Who's our front three? Woo, this is tough. You lot are pressing the brain with these questions. Great questions, though. We really appreciate it. You pressing the brain with these, though. You know what? This is going to sound wild, but he's the second highest top goal scorer in Premier League history, and people don't give him his flowers. Andy Cole. The way people talk about him is ridiculous. He's not spoken about like a Shearer is or other great Premier League strikers. To me, I got to put Andy Cole in there.
No, Andy Cole definitely deserves to be in there.
All right, 2 wingers. Who? Let us know in the comments. Help us out, people. Throw up some names of some left and right wingers from the Premier League era who you believe are underrated. Someone said Letitia. Defoe is a good shout.
Letitia is a
Aguero is a good
great shout.
Letitia is a great shout. Aguero is a great shout also, though. Someone says Cole, Rooney, and Defoe. See, like, you lot are just trying to put 3 strikers in there. I'm actually trying to put a team and a system together. You know what I'm saying?
I was trying to put 3 strikers in there. I
You
ain't
trying to
gonna
put 3
lie.
strikers in there. Who? Andy Cole's definitely a shout. I think Letizia gets his flowers, though. I'm
trying so hard not to be biased for a certain striker. I'm finding it tough not to put him in there.
Yeah, it's Robbie Fowler or Owen Fowler. I think Fowler
I
gets
would ever put Michael Owen in there.
Someone said Stefan says Ginola, but I think Ginola gets his flowers though.
Nah, because you see, like,
you
can't put Ginola over there over certain one.
Yeah, because I think he gets Pat G Sung. He's laughing face. Deco Knight says I'm struggling. Ahmed said Son, but Son's another one. To me, he gets
his
ratings.
flowers.
Yeah, he receives his flowers. Ooh, David Silva should be. All right, that's who I'm putting on the right hand side. David Silva. Eddie Martin, great shout. Yes, I'm putting David Silva because I don't think he gets his flowers. So David Silva, Andy Cole. We just need one more.
Can we not just do like a diamond? Put David Silva in 10.
Yeah, let's do a diamond.
Fowler in.
Yes, that's a good idea. I think Fowler gets his flowers.
Nah, he doesn't.
You don't think so?
No.
All right, let's go with Fowler because we'll go with Fowler and Cole. Then we'll go with the diamond.
Because think about it. Look at Fowler's stats. He had the quickest hat-trick in Premier League history until recently when Mane took it off him.
Yeah.
He doesn't get talked about in the best ever strikers.
All right, so we'll go diamond. So the team is Van der Sar in goal. Right back was Gary Neville. Left back Ashley Cole.
Ashley Cole.
Goal. Centre backs were
Carvalho.
Hippier. No, it's Carvalho, and Carragher.
No, Carvalho and Hippier.
Oh yeah, Carvalho and Hippier, sorry. Base of the diamond, we'll go Carrick.
Yeah, because you can just dictate.
To the right of it, we'll go Gilberto Silva. Left of that, Xavi Alonso. David Silva in the 10. Up top, Andy Cole, Robbie Fowler.
Ooh, that team would punish teams.
That's a quality side. Yeah, Deco Knight says Fowler and Cole, rate that with a fire emoji. Fowler, Man City legend with a wink, says Jan City. Jan City out here winking. This is a professional show, innit?
Hey, Jan.
Keep your slanderous, you get me, vivacious self to yourself, all right? You know what I mean? Love how I used the word vivacious. I've been waiting to drop that. I was thinking, who used it? I was watching a game and Martin Tyler used it, and I was like, what does that mean? So I Googled that. So yeah, Jan City, there you go. There's your compliment for you. Go Google vivacious and you'll find out what it means. Most underrated sports for me has to be badminton, skateboarding, and volleyball. To me, the most underrated sports are your combat sports because you don't play them sports. You don't play boxing. You don't play UFC and MMA. You are literally putting your life in danger.
Yeah.
You are literally one shot away from being severely injured or dying. So I have to put in terms of... So that's why I hate when people call people who are involved in combat sports bums. Because
you never stepped in
as
there,
a man, I wouldn't do it. They are doing something I mentally and physically am not capable of doing. So I respect it. When I see someone, especially at the highest level, definitely. Mr. Veer says, favorite... Oh yeah, sorry, you can answer that question as well. Underrated sports.
Underrated sports?
Yeah.
MMA, boxing, women's football.
Okay, interesting. Shout out, I'm sure the women in the comments and people listening will like that. That's a good shout. Yeah, we are. Favorite cricketer of all time, says Musavir, Brian Lara, for me. No brainer, Brian Lara. You're not a cricket guy like that, are you, Strong?
Brian Lara, Shane Ward.
Okay.
Or Shane Ward, shall I say? Shane Ward, I'm thinking of myself there. See what I did there? You know what? Freddie Flintoff. Absolutely idolised him in that Ashes 2005 series.
I know exactly what you're talking about, yeah. But yeah, there's other ones I can name, but in terms of favourite cricketer, it's Brian Lara.
Like Tendulkar, I can go on for days.
You can keep on going on and on. Obviously, Walsh, Ambrose, I have to bring them two up. Gerrard should be up there with Xavi, Scholes and Zidane. I don't think any of his managers knew what to do with him. Give him to Saki, Ancelotti, Hitzfield or Klopp, you will see him at his peak.
Chris Kirkland said this about Benitez. He just kept moving him because, which is wild. You build a team around him.
Facts.
And I'm not just saying this, there's a reason why Mourinho went after Gerrard.
Yep.
There's a reason why Fergie told Gary Neville to try and word up Gerrard. There's a reason, because they knew what to do with his talent. This man was ridiculously talented. So, I agree with that. Oh, what a question that is.
Serious. I wasn't going to go there, but go on.
Decos.
Tell us the question. Nah, go on, tell us. Is it at the bottom here? Which one? Stroke, 3 Man United players you would have loved at Liverpool and flawless 3 from Liverpool, same question. Xavi Alonso, number 1. Definitely Xavi Alonso. Big fan.
Are we talking any era?
I'd say let's go Premier League era.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Like any era in the Premier League.
Oh, yeah, any era in the Premier League. Unless Deco, you have another variation of that question. We should do this more often. I've enjoyed this so far. We still got half an hour left, people, from a Third Eye View on Pi Radio. Xavi Alonso, definitely. Without question. Fernando Torres. Because you know what bugged me? You know the season where Manchester, we pipped you to the title that season. And on Sky, they did the best 11. And Ronaldo was on the right. And Torres was in the centre. And I think Jamie Redknapp said it. Imagine United had got Torres and that would have been their lineup. I can't remember who the player was on the left that season. But yeah, I do remember that. So I'll probably go Xavi Alonso, Fernando Torres.
Mine's simple.
I can't really leave out Gerrard. I'm trying to think of more Liverpool. Because, like, I'm a United fan and I always try and hate on Liverpool. But obviously doing this show, I have to become more non-biased and more balanced. So I'm trying to think of Liverpool players who, even though I hated at the time, I rate highly. Xavi Alonso in that mix. Fernando Torres definitely in that mix. I'm weighing it up because I'm a big fan of Mascherano when he was at Liverpool. I was a massive fan of Mascherano. Big fan. But I'll go Gerrard. That's my three. There you go. Xavi Alonso, Mascherano, Fernando Torres. No, not Mascherano. Gerrard, Torres, Xavi Alonso. That's my three, sorry. Go on.
Rooney.
Yeah.
Don't need to say anymore.
Yeah.
Imagine, like, we've seen Gerrard feeding Rooney in the England squad.
Right.
Both Scouse.
Yeah. I hear that.
Scholes.
Makes sense.
Imagine the midfield three of Scholes, Alonso and Gerrard.
Oh my Lord. Whoa.
And Ferdinand.
Rio. It's a good question. That's a great question.
That's a great question.
See, that's how balanced and unbiased we are, that we can do that and wax lyrical about our arch enemies. Lauren Wood, even though she asked Ahmed that, she says, what's the better combo, Petit and Vieira or Gilberto and Vieira? It's Petit and Vieira, but Gilberto and Vieira is a quality.
Them man would walk up together.
Yeah, they literally, yeah. That's a great point. Jan City here riding for Manchester City. She said there are loads, but most obvious would be Bert, Trotman, Colin Bell, Mike Summerby, Tony Book. She's talking about City legends. Reckon Brook versus Khan will happen. This fight was hyped up like El Clasico. Now it's the equivalent to Stoke versus Burnley. Even though it's not a boxing show, I'll answer it. Make sure you check out not from a Third Eye View.
Make sure you check it out.
Yeah, man. Big fights, big nights only. That's one of the shows on Sarcasm City TV. It's a boxing show, so we only cover the biggest fights. We preview them either the Thursday or Friday, and then the Saturday night we recap them. So it's myself, my Don JK, who's on the West Coast, my boy Jesse, who's on the East Coast, and
salute to Jesse.
Yeah, man. Salute to Jesse Reed and big up JK. Also, sometimes joined by Lindrix and Beans. Shout out to those two, and we'll discuss that. So make sure you head over to the Sarcasm City podcast. You get me? And subscribe and hit the notification bell because there's so many shows on there. Yeah, any Premier League area he was talking about. He says Gerrard, Van Dijk, and Alonso for me. He's a United fan. Stefan says Torres, Alonso, Van Dijk. Okay. Ronaldo, Rooney, Tevez. We lack quality wingers. I think he's talking about the 11. He's talking that's who you would take. Fair enough. Best player that never fulfilled his potential, not including injuries, has to be Anelka, Ben Arfa, Quaresma, and Bojan. Nathan, there are a lot of players that you could put in there. Them four you mentioned, I wouldn't say Anelka. I think Anelka did well. Ben Arfa, Quaresma, and Bojan were all supposed to be the next biggest thing. Go on.
There's one that trumps all. Very personal.
Go on.
Ravel Morrison.
That's a great pick. That's a fantastic pick.
Trumps every single one of him. I've seen Ravel play. I've played against Ravel at school. I've seen him out and about. This kid could do everything. Pogba looked up to him. Look at Pogba now. There's not one man in that academy team that came close to Ravel. Talent-wise, not one. Honestly.
The fact that he was with Pogba, Lingard, and that whole group, and everybody said he was the best one. He was the most talented. And you look at what Pogba and Lingard have gone on to do.
Listen, don't get me wrong, right? Ravel is still playing at a great level. he should be England's number one starter. You look at Jack Grealish, Ravel's that times 10. He's that good. And I'm not even over-exaggerating. Unbelievable talent.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous talent. Ram says, my dad told me if you want entertainment, West Indies cricket team play with freedom and flair. Always have respect for the West Indies. Facts.
Yeah,
the West
facts.
Indies cricket team is one of the one, I think it was in like the 60s and 70s, was the greatest. He got voted. It never lost a test series.
Yeah, it never lost.
Never lost it. And obviously, my background is West Indian. Obviously, I personally don't remember it, but my grandparents, my mum, dad, uncles, aunts all told me about it, and I got to see the back end of it. So Brian Lara with your Courtney Walshes and Ambrose and Jimmy Adams, and I got to see the back end of that team. But yeah, big up the West Indies as always. Salute. You know what I'm saying? Anyone watching from the Caribbean, please let us know. Just out of interest. One player you wish that worked at your club that didn't. Mine has to be Arshavin. He was good as an attacking midfielder, but Wenger always played him left wing. It was so annoying. One player I wish it worked with, Varane. Because our midfield was quality as it was. And it's just the fact we signed him and he was top quality at that time and he was a big money signing and it just didn't happen for him.
Anelka.
Fair point. That's a great one. Ahmed said Welsh's attitude and injuries failed him. I think he's talking about biggest not fulfilling potential. Freddie Adu, remember him? Ravel was a sensation, massive shame. I remember Freddie Adu. I used to sign him on Football Manager. You'll know this. Who remembers Hakim Mastor? He was supposed to be crazy, but Wagwan for him. I do not remember him.
I remember him.
Well, okay. Ahmed says, right, flawless is West Indian G's. Yes, I am, people. Yes, my background is Barbados and Jamaica. Hear me? But salute to all the, salute to all the Caribbean islands, all the African islands, everyone, everywhere. You know what I mean? As long as we're all one. You know what I'm saying? We are all one. Watching from Trinidad, says Gabriel. Appreciate that. Man said Trinidad, I was watching Trinidad. Most overrated / biggest fraud in Premier League history. Who's the most overrated? Because even though I might think they're overrated, doesn't mean I don't rate them. That's a great question. Who's the most overrated? That's a great question. I don't know. Let us know. Give us in the comments. Give us some ideas, people. I don't know. I'm unsure. Give us some ideas. Yeah, I'm to shout out Viv Richards and Lara. Yeah, man.
Most overrated in Premier League history, Michael Owen.
You think, though?
Yeah.
You think he's just living off what he did early?
Yeah. When the man came back from Real Madrid to Newcastle, he was the highest paid Premier League player at the time.
That's a great point.
The man had no hamstrings. He was injured 90% of that season.
That's a great point.
Get this man out of here.
I can't say Michael Owen.
Yeah.
But the fact that he was going to Newcastle shows you how highly he was rated, though.
No.
You don't think so? You don't go to Newcastle if you highly rated like that.
So overrated.
You think so?
Fowler was a better overall player and a better striker. I can name you a number of better strikers at that time than Michael Owen.
I hear that. Keep going. Yeah, let us know in the comments who you lot think it is, because I can't. You lot really thought out with these questions. We might have to do more of these Q&As, Stro.
Yeah, I agree.
One holiday you wish to go on before your time comes. I've been Tokyo, but want to go Seoul and LA. Because I got family over there. I go Orlando, Florida. And also Vegas.
I've got family in Florida.
Yeah, that's where. That before this lockdown, that was the plan. I was going to go this year. Yeah, we talked about it. Because going to go to a URL event. For those who don't know, that's a battle rap company. That's where he was going to go. Jack Rodwell was expected to be great and never really succeeded. Michael Johnson was tipped to be great and mental health messed him up.
It's sad, I live a minute from Michael Johnson. I see Michael Johnson all the time at the pub and stuff like that. Honestly, unbelievable talent. Like, he asked me how my team gets on and stuff like that. Like,
okay.
Like, you've seen it. You've seen the stars on the sideline at my games.
Myself included. I'm there amongst the stars. Make sure, plug your team.
Ermston Town Vale FC. Yeah, man, we've got some special announcements coming up.
Okay, and he's also looking for sponsors as well, people. So that is how you contact him. Give him your socials. Let him know.
At Mr. Stro or at Mr. Itstro, and then Itstro official on Instagram. So yeah, hit me up on either of them. Yeah, hit him up on either of them, and give out the team socials as well, because you have team socials. Yeah. So the team socials you've got on the Twitter. Bear me 1 second. That was cool. Ermston Town Vale FC. Oh no, URMS Town Vale FC. So obviously go give that a follow. Keep an eye on what we're doing, obviously, when we're allowed back from lockdown. And exactly the same on the Twitter as well and the Instagram.
Yeah, Yan City, I know you trying to set me up like I'm not live on DAB radio with swearing in the comments. You should know better than that, girl. What's wrong with you? See how I edit it out? You know what I'm saying? Ram said, if I get peas, I'm heading straight to New Zealand. Great player still, but people overrate Drogba a bit because of how clutch he is in finals. Nah, I'm not having no Drogba slander. No Drogba slander whatsoever.
Deco's coming out with the questions.
No, Deco's very good. Amazing Jay says, forgot you man was on. It's cool, don't worry about it. You can always watch the show back live. Man. He says, what topic are we on? We already spoke about Paul Pogba's comments, the foolish media mistreating Rashford and Greenwood, and now we're just doing an open Q&A. So that's what it is. So any football questions you have, let us know. Or if you do ask something outside of football, make it good like Nathan has.
Here's one before we move on to Deco's one.
Go on.
Where is it now? Best Premier League team to not win the league. Liverpool 08-09.
It's that Liverpool side with Alonso, Mascherano,
Gerrard,
Torres, yeah.
Reina in there.
Yeah, it's that side. The only one I can think next to it was, I was thinking of the Newcastle side that didn't. That United clawed back.
I'd love it if we beat you.
Or one of the Arsenal sides, definitely.
Yeah.
The 98-99 Arsenal side. Because they won it in 97 to 98. So that's what I'd say. Yeah, Ram says 08-09. Liverpool. Has to be Dele Alli most overrated. That's a shout, you know.
That's not a bad shout. That's a very good
That's
shout.
a good point. That's a good pick. It could be. Because he's literally goals on nothing else. Best match you've ever played in at any level. Mine was a training game at college, recreated the Bale versus Barton moment, but instead of scoring, got an assist. Ooh, I don't know, you know. I played in some exciting games before. I don't know, I can't pick out one. It's more moments I've had in the games. There's certain stuff that I've done, and I'm like,
same.
Yeah, this is it. Like, even I played on Sunday, and shout out Dubs from Mike Check messaged me, and he's like, I heard man were calling you the Black Berbatov. I'm dying. But there's certain moves that I've done, and I'm like, where did that come from? Like an assist I got this season before with my left foot, and I'm right-footed. I scored a volley in the box, and I'm not a goal-scoring midfielder like that, so it's more moments. Or there might be a certain turn I've done and stuff like that, or a certain skill. So that's what I'd say. Stro, 3 players you dislike most that played for United. Flawless 3 you dislike most for Liverpool. Go on. Yeah.
Berbatov.
Yeah.
That hat-trick.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
That John O'Shea.
Mm-hmm.
That moment.
Oh, yeah. That's one of my favourite moments.
Diego Forlan. Also that moment.
Yeah. I love how you've just gone straight petty with it. For me, Steven Gerrard, because he's Mr. Liverpool. And he kissed the camera when they won. That really annoyed me.
4-1 as well.
Jamie Carragher, for like the same reasons as Mr. Liverpool. And Torres, just because he was that good. And that 4-1 still hurt me, you know what I'm saying?
Why do you think Vidic struggled with Torres?
I think because just Torres is that good. And it was only that one game sticks out.
Nah, but it's like, you look at
because he only scored 3 goals in 9 appearances against him.
Nah, but like, he was getting sent off all the time against Torres.
Torres is just that good.
Yeah, but it's...
Torres is just that good. That's what it is. I think we have to put less criticism on Vidic and put more respect on Torres' name. It's Torres.
Yeah, true.
I think that's what that is. Torres terrorised a lot of defenders.
Actually, I'm surprised you didn't say Suarez.
Ooh, yeah, I got to replace Torres. Yeah, yeah, but I didn't dislike him in a Liverpool shirt. It was, I did actually. But then the whole everything, it has to be Suarez.
Yeah, it has to be Suarez.
Yeah, put Suarez in. Great shout. Aiden Andrew says, use 2's favourite battle rapper. Ooh, that's tough. I can't name just one. I have many favourites. 2 favourite. Yeah, he wants to know our favourite battle rappers. There's 2 more than many. Hollow the Don, of course. Hollow the Don, Averb. I'll give you a top 5. Hollow the Don, Averb, Twerk, Rum Nitty, Tsunami Surf.
Hollow, Geechee.
Shout.
Surf, Verb. And listen, I met them, man. Man, like murder and boo.
Okay, all right. Okay. Stefan says, flawless United 99 or 08, 99. And the only difference to me is the midfield. I rate Carrick and Scholes, but Keane's one of my favourite Manchester United. Keane's one of my favourite Manchester United players of all time. What's your Tyson Roy Jones prediction? I'm not sure, you know. I don't even like that. I don't even like the fact they did that. Ahmed said Suarez and Gerrard. Machiavelli says Gerrard, Carragher, Mascherano. Eddie Martin says, thought you'd say Suarez. Yeah, you lot. I thought for sure Flawless was naming Suarez. I appreciate you answering, guys. Yeah, man, that's what we're here for.
Yeah,
get your questions in. Like I said, last 20 minutes of the show.
Ahmed, I'm not talking about stats like there's eye testing the stats.
You're talking about.
I'm talking overall gameplay. Like, he would disrupt Vidic like I've never seen any striker. He'd give Vidic problems. I've never seen any striker give
that good?
Vidic problems. Like, think about it. That That Ferdinand and Vidic partnership is one of the best partnerships that the Premier League has ever seen.
But you know what it adds into? Because we never seen Vidic do anything, and this is not on you. Like, put it this way, when you have a player, say, who is just consistent, when he has a bad game, so if you have a player who plays 30 games... I get
that, but to get that amount of red cards against that one opponent stands out.
Yeah. I think Torres was just that good. Because it's just for anyone. Stroke, if you had one player to realistically bring in 08 or 09 to Liverpool, mine would be Metzelder or Ribery.
08, 09, Guti.
Yeah. You take Guti, yeah?
Guti's one of my favourite ever midfielders.
Okay. Fair enough. I hear that. Keep the questions coming in. What players in the Prem now do you think should leave to go abroad? Players below the top 6?
Below the top 6?
Yeah. That's what Amazing Jay has just said. Yeah, I don't want Pogba to leave, but I understand that. But he said below the top 6. Oh, you talking about? No, we're talking about aside from the big 6, not the top 6. Yeah, you got jokes in it. Hilarious.
Below the top 6.
Yeah, below the top. I think, who do you look at? I don't say they should leave to go abroad, but I understand if they did, even though he's just got a Rodriguez I'd put in there. Dominic Calvin-Lewandowski.
Alan.
We're just naming it.
So just Everton's team.
Everton's team.
Take Ancelotti as well.
Take Ancelotti as well. You can add into there. Grealish for obvious reasons.
Yeah, Grealish is a great shout.
Grealish for obvious reasons. Lamptey. You look at Ings.
Danny Ings.
Vardy. Those type of players.
Tillemans, Ndidi. Yeah. Definitely Ndidi.
Yeah, Ndidi's quality. Said, if you could bring in a player, this is Lauren Wood saying this, if you could bring in a player right now into your team, who you picking, Prime Ribery or Prime Robin? Prime Robin, because United need a right-sided player. You would fit perfectly. Prime Robin, what you saying? It's tough for you because you have such a great front three.
Can I just take someone else out of that squad?
Nah, if I was you, I'd take Robin.
Yeah, I'd take
you
Robin.
Could play Salah in the middle and and Jota up top or Salah up top, and you got options.
Yeah, Robin, definitely Robin.
Yeah. Can you tell all these Chelsea lot on the terrace that Matty Cash is doing what Reece James is doing? Is that a fact?
Listen, what have I been saying about Matty Cash?
You have been waxing lyrical about Matty Cash for a long time. A long, long time.
He's just that good. Like, I'm not just saying it. The kid is ridiculously talented.
Yeah. Nah, I hear that. Arsenal, one of my favourite battle rappers, says Machiavelli. Yeah, Arsenal's not really for me. I do rate it, but you don't get in my top 5.
He's funny though. He's funny.
Deco 90, yeah, definitely. Deco 90 says Grealish would ball in Spain. Facts. I say Digne would be sick at Bayern if Davies weren't there, but I'd say Ndidi to our Barcelona.
Everton team.
Nathan, it is literally Everton and Leicester.
Yeah,
that's who we're looking at. Everton and Leicester. Yeah, make sure you've hit the like button if you haven't already. People, get these numbers up, share it across all your socials. If you're watching this live back right now, we are here. If you're watching this live back now on YouTube, or you're listening via DAB radio or traditional radio means, we are here every Monday 7 p.m. till 9 p.m. on Pi Radio, discussing all the Premier League weekend results. It's just the fact there was no Premier League because it's international break. We decided to do the special show for the people. I've enjoyed it so far.
I've enjoyed it. I've loved it.
Keep the questions coming in.
And the questions have been great, so thank you.
And also let us know where you are watching from. Let's get back to that before we do close out. All right, while we wait for questions to come in, more questions to come in. England. I spoke on this on the Q&A yesterday. I will touch on this briefly. And people were talking about, go check it out on Sarcasm City Sarcasm City TV. You hear me? Just type that into YouTube. I was saying England fail because there just is a lack of quality. What do you reckon? Like, people talk about the manager and other stuff. And yes, I don't think the manager's good enough. Yes, I think there's other issues. But to me, it's just overall, even if you put the best manager, the best system in place, the team is just not good enough to win things overall, is what I'm saying. Attacking wise, they're fine. So to me, midfield and defense and the goal, midfield and defense, I don't think is good enough to win a major tournament.
So attacking wise, 100%. Yeah. This is where I have the issue. And I think Terry made a point, which was a phenomenal point, which was when England were going through the United golden era stage, why didn't England try and copy the blueprint of United at that point? Ring Fergie, what kind of tactics are you using? Do you know what I mean? Makes sense. Because majority of the players then were United players, right? Majority of the players now are Liverpool players. Yeah. Henderson, Gomez, Trent. Why not set up your defence and midfield free? Put Gomez next to Trent. They don't have to play with each other. Put Henderson in that, because when Trent goes forward, Henderson can finger. Here's the problem though. Who'd you put alongside Henderson? You can't put Mason Mount. Declan Rice is too similar. They've not got a midfielder that stands out.
Mm-hmm.
Henderson's performances for England have been absolutely shocking because you take him out of that Liverpool system, you can tell he's not the same player. Midfield's a big problem, and then you see Jack Grealish last night stand out. I've seen the highlights. I didn't watch the game, but he looked phenomenal. The fact that he's not been starting regular games for me is a disgrace. He should be starting in number 10. 2 pivots.
Yeah.
Henderson being one of them because of his experience and what he's won. Grealish in front of him. Right. You have to, but who'd you put net? Like, there's no midfielder that stands out. You've got Eric Dyer at centre back. He's not good enough. Nowhere near good enough.
I hear you.
We're clutching at straws. For me, it should be Maguire, Gomez when Gomez is fit.
Yeah.
Trent, Chilwell. That's the back four.
Right.
At no point does Jordan Pickford get anywhere near it. It's got to be Pope.
Right.
And even then, that's not great. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've got, like, it's, yeah, the midfield's it's poor.
It's a great question there from Deco90. He says, 3 players each you wish graced the Premier League. Easy for me. Ronaldinho, Zidane, Brazilian Ronaldo.
Damn, my 3.
Yeah, as long as he didn't play for Liverpool or City.
Oh, actually, Roberto Carlos has got to be in there for me.
All right, who do you drop then? See, it's tough. It's very tough. That's why I just went Ronaldinho, Ronaldo,
yeah,
Zidane.
I'm just gonna have to stick with that.
So no, yeah, those 3. There isn't a lack of quality. Our players that don't play for enough top teams. That's why I think more English players should go abroad. I just think there is a lack of quality.
There's a big lack of quality.
There's a big lack in the midfield and defensive areas. Going forward, England are fine. Going fine. Yeah, Machiavelli says Ronaldinho, Iniesta, Griezmann. I wish played in the Prem. Facts. England fail because they can't figure out how to implement any sort of attacking or defensive patterns, which are the basics, plus they should have more than 2 or 3 formations for different teams. I just think they're not good enough.
That England 2004 Euro team should have won that Euros. Greece won that Euros. We should have won that Euros. When you look at that team, Sol Campbell and Ferdinand at the back. Carragher is part of that as well. And then I think Matty Upson at the time was a breakout. Yeah. Gary Neville one side, Ashley Cole. That is Ferdinand, Campbell, Gary Neville, Cole, phenomenal back 4.
Yeah, that's a phenomenal.
Gerrard, Scholes, Lampard was in there.
Yeah,
that's a phenomenal midfield.
Yeah,
Rooney, Owen, and I think we had. And then we had the rise for Sell. But even so, Rooney at that time was like, he was Mbappe level.
Yeah, I get
that kind of breakout. We should have won that.
I get what you're saying. Someone mentioned Rivaldo. I don't know where the comment is, but yeah, Rivaldo, do you rate him? Yes, rated him very highly.
Oh, I love
very
Rivaldo.
Highly. Love Rivaldo.
That 2002 Brazil team is one of my favourite ever teams.
Ridiculous. Riquelme for me, he was a bad boy. Oh my God, Riquelme, what a player, says Lauren Wood. Facts. Riquelme, quality number 10. R9. Oh yeah, so he's saying here, Aidan Andrews, players he'd like to see in the Premier League. Ronaldo 9, Ronaldinho, Rui Costa. Rui Costa's definitely a shout. Definitely.
Goal against England.
Rui Costa quality. Yeah. Rui Costa quality. That's what I'm saying. Players that good. Like, he wasn't even classed as top. He wasn't even classed as world class back then because there were just that many more in front of him. But that's not his issue.
That's just
the quality that was around. Yeah, the abundance in the talent. Abundance in talent is what it is. But back to Premier League. We'll close out the show on that. You lot continue to get your questions in. As a Liverpool fan, with all these injuries, are you majorly concerned, or are you feeling okay because there doesn't seem to be any standout team in the Premier League?
Both. There's no real standout. The fact that we've been poor, and we have been poor, and we're sitting 3rd, which is like a point off top. We're there or thereabouts.
Yeah.
Even with the injuries, we've had 16 injuries so far. Actually, more now, 18 if you count Robertson and Henderson. So let me just break down the injuries that Liverpool have got currently at the moment. No, actually, I'll name the 10 key injuries we've had this season. Alisson.
Yeah.
Starting goalkeeper. Trent. Starting right back. Gomez, Van Dijk, Robertson. That's our back 5. Our title-winning back 5, right?
Yeah.
Fabinho, Henderson, Thiago. Mane's missed at one point. Shaqiri and Oxlade-Chamberlain. Right? So there's 11. Forget Oxlade-Chamberlain. Forget Shaqiri. Forget the last 3. Let me just repeat this.
Go on.
Alisson, Trent, Gomez, Robertson, Fabinho, Henderson, Thiago. Look at that for the base of a squad.
Right.
That's a joke. That's a midfield three, which could arguably Thiago could walk into any Premier League midfield. Fabinho could arguably walk into any Premier League midfield.
Yeah.
Van Dijk exactly the same. That back four, or that back five, including the goalkeeper, is our title-winning back five.
Yeah.
We've not got any of them at this point.
It's a fair point.
I've never seen a team get hit with this amount of injuries this quick. Your whole back four
is gone.
Gone.
The goalkeeper's still there. Henderson's now injured. Fabinho's injured, if I'm correct.
Yeah, still injured. Thiago's still injured.
It's going to be interesting to see how you deal with it. Very, very interesting to see how you deal with it.
But like I said, there's not really been any standout, and this is why I completely understand your logic. Whereas if United got a better manager in, you could make a run for the title.
Yes, definitely. I'm not saying United will win it. I'm saying we already compared it to the Liverpool side that challenged, and their defence was much worse than ours was. And we have an attack. When you have an attack that can score goals, you can win matches. Jaden here says, the amount of injuries we've had is a joke, especially to our most crucial players. He's a Liverpool fan. But we're still there, and the fixtures we've got coming up are winnable. I think that's what might be Liverpool's saving grace. 18 injuries so far, including COVID. Manchester City have had 17.
Jan, has your entire back five gone?
Great question. That's a great question, Yancy.
So Kyle Walker, Laporte, Diaz, left back. Who plays left back for him now? Because
Is it Mendy?
Mendy's broken.
I think it's
Cancelo. Right, Cancelo.
That's it. Yeah.
Had they all been injured at the exact same time? Is my question. Then you had, for example, Rodri. Do you know what I mean? Like, no. Yeah. Edison, no. Like, I've never seen anything like this ever.
Yeah. Now I hear what you're saying. Deco Knight says that has the art of defending died, or attack is better now. I couldn't name
art of defending's died.
Yeah, you told me. He said I couldn't name 10 top centre backs right now personally. That's what it is. Yeah. It's not the attack. The attackers are quality, don't get me mistaken, but the art of defending has disappeared. If you look at fullbacks, before it was defensively they had to be sound, and if they were going forward, it's a bonus. But now it's kind of like you want your fullbacks to be. That's why Wan-Bissaka received so much criticism. If you put in mid-90s, early 2000s, no one's complaining about it.
Which is why Van Dijk gets so much credit, because he loves defending. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. There's not defenders like that these days.
Who love defending.
Yeah, who like
Vidic's and
like for example, Liverpool were doing social media clips of Van Dijk saying, "I love a clean sheet." Like, you don't get that these days.
That's true.
Like, look at Maldini. Like, he wore his heart on his sleeve. He would sacrifice everything. John Terry, I've said it. I've seen him throw his head at a ball when he's on the floor just to stop. He loved defending. Thuram loved defending. Cafu loved defending. Carlos, very good attacking, but he loved defending first. Hierro, Nesta, Stam, Vidic, Ferdinand. Like, come on now, we're talking elite of the elite there. They love defending. Name me elite now.
Yeah, it's very few and far between. Jan said she gets your point. She said we didn't have a defence last season. It was a one-man defence, Laporte. But she gets your point. That's fair enough. Agreed, lad. That's why I rate Van Dijk. He's a throwback, says Deco 90. Ahmed says, flawless breaking news. Ryan Reynolds has officially invested in Wrexham AFC. Okay. Salute to Wrexham. Yeah, that means we're getting investment. So if there's someone else to invest over here, shout us.
Yo, Deadpool, hit us up, man.
Yeah, serious. PK said years ago, people like to pass the ball and have the ball rather than defend, and that's facts.
No, it's true.
That's facts. Troops made a great comment. This was a few months back. He was talking about David Luiz, and he was like, he'd rather get an assist than a clean sheet. And he was going off on a rant. I was watching AFTV. Arsenal had been beat. I can't remember who by. And yeah, he was just saying how defenders like Tony Adams love to defend, whereas defenders now would rather get an assist, would rather bring the ball out. Like, put the ball in Rosette sometimes. Top defending, a.k.a. Serie A 90s. That's what I grew up on.
Same.
That's what I grew up on. That's facts. Costa Curta says, Nathan, underrated centre-back. Facts. Underrated centre-back. And we are closing the show. This is the last 5 minutes. So get your yes or no questions in quick, because we can't go into detail because we only have 5 minutes left. Give us your either ors. That's what we want, your either ors, or questions that are just yes or no. And like I said, if you're watching this live right now or you're watching this back, please, first and foremost, make sure you hit the like button on the video. Share it across all your socials. It's underneath. And subscribe to the Pi Radio YouTube, because and hit the notification bell when you subscribe. We're here live every Monday, 7 p.m. till 9 p.m, discussing all the Premier League games from the weekend. Also with special guests. Some people you might know from the YouTube and football world. I mean, like, a lot. And there's so much content coming. We're going to continue to create. We've been over it. We had our year anniversary. the back end of last month, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and we hope to be here for, the next 4, 5, 10 years, however long. So we'll have a shout out, Big S.
Big S,
Big
man
up
like
Sparks.
Sparks.
The whole Pi Radio hierarchy there, the head honchos. Do we, as England fans, not give enough respect to Bobby Moore? Because he's before my time.
Yeah, this is what I mean. This kind of generation, you're not going to get that kind of respect because you've never seen him. Like my dad's generation, like obviously my granddad's generation, he gets all the respect because of the player he was, but you can't give him respect when you've never seen him play.
Yeah. Here we go. If Mbappe doesn't win 2 Ballon d'Ors and 2 to 3 Champions Leagues, will people say he didn't live up to the hype? Ballon d'Ors, I don't really count personally. And with the 2 to 3 Champions League, it depends.
Ronaldo never won a Champions League.
Yeah, it depends what he does at club level. That's what I was going to say. Depends what he does at club level and where he goes. If he wins 10 to 11 league titles in, say, England, Italy, or Spain, or combined, then it is what it is. Flawless, if Mbappe comes to Prem, where does he go? Unfortunately, I think either City or Liverpool.
Yeah, they're the two so far.
How would modern players cope in the 90s when you could murder a man and not get a red? They wouldn't, because it's different times and different types of people and generations. Jan City says, Ruben Diaz or Laporte? Laporte, I'm a big fan of Laporte. What about you?
Laporte, but I remember watching Ruben Diaz in Portugal a couple seasons ago. He is phenomenal.
Who's had the most impressive managerial career, Mourinho or Pep? Prime Mourinho hasn't been touched. That Mourinho, to me...
Prime Mourinho ran on the pitch at the Nou Camp.
Yeah. From 2003 to 2010, from when he left Inter, that 7-year period, I've not seen a better 7-year period overall in my lifetime, apart from Fergie. He's the only 7-year period that can match that. That 7-year period, he won the champion, he won the treble with Porto, he won a treble with Inter Milan. In between that, came to England and won back-to-back league titles with Chelsea and won the League Cup and FA Cup. Never been done. Never been done. Broke all types of defensive records at Chelsea also. That's what I would say. You know what I mean? Most disrespected manager ever for me, it has to be Wenger or Jose. The amount of corn they get for no reason. They don't get it. It's because of what they become. You know what it is?
Because of what happened.
Yeah, it's like seeing a boxer fight too long. That's what it is, and you forget what he did. I mean, that one's for you, Flawless. I wanted to throw you off script. Man says Maya or Georgia. Yes, and we're coming to the end of the show. There we go. That's how we're going to end the show. Thank you very much, Ahmed. We're ending the show. But this has been From a Third Eye View on Pi Radio. We're here every Monday, 7 p.m. Thank you very much for tuning in.
Salute.